usually pretty bad, but not this
God's sake!
bad. So I don't know what's the matter with him tonight. He's got one on him tonight.
Look, nice Stewie's gone.
Okay. Do you want the intro?
Yeah, let's do the intro. You're the man with the buttons tonight.
All right, here we go. Sound effects.
Yeah. Who? Ha!
Duke's not here, by the way. Fraser. Random sound effect that no one understands.
I done a whoopsie.
Reference to something that Duke's watched and no one else.
It's the veteran gamers.
AIDS.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
I fell on my bottom in some butterscotch. Hello and welcome to episode 683 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yeah. I don't have claps. Okay, I got the sound effects.
Yeah.
I got this one.
Stew.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's what we got. That's
it. That's all you've got. Anyway, how are you guys? Anyway, I'm Stu, by the way. I suppose we should do that.
I'm Chinny, and we have a guest tonight.
We do.
Hello.
Hi, Fraser.
It's Fraser.
Fraser
Yay.
Moore. Where are you from, Fraser? What, do you do a show? Where in the world are you? You sound English, but you're not quite English. What the fuck's going on with you?
Yeah,
I'm a mishmash.
You're a
Yeah,
mishmash.
so I'm Canadian, grew up in England, back in Canada with a podcast. Seal Podcast is where it's at, folks. Come on over. We've got room in our Discord. We'll interact with you. We won't be aloof.
Is
We'll
that a
keep it
dig?
real.
Is that a dig?
Who was it? Right, just remind me. Who was it you used to do the podcast you did with your original one?
The first podcast I ever did with the Transatlantic Rants with my mate Jeremy.
What's happened to him? What happened to him?
He's still around. Yeah, we were still chatting back and forth, but he couldn't hold down. He couldn't hold down the job.
He couldn't do it. Well,
He couldn't.
we are well aware of this, aren't we, Ginny? How many of these podcasts?
They come and go. These shitty little things. So
they
we're
haven't got the
pros.
fucking staying power, man. They haven't got the staying power.
Yeah.
And I get the odd.
Yeah,
I get the odd
premature
message.
ejaculation. That's what they are.
I get the odd message about doing it again, but I'm very hesitant. Like, I'm very lucky right now, and I'm doing a podcast with Neil and Dave, and like we're up
they're
to,
regular, are they? Like a good poo. Is that what you're saying?
You don't know how right you are.
There you go. You see, that's what you need. Regularity. That's what we're after.
That's what you need.
Yeah, but props too, because I did Game Punchers for a long time, and I also did Overseas Connection for a little while, as did Mike.
I started with them.
Yeah, you did. You were a fucking podcast slag. You were
slag, dirty.
You were a slag.
Rotten
2 a week. You were doing
slag. I was.
I tried I was doing 2 a week at one point with Game Punchers and Overseas, and it just broke me in the end.
It's too much, man. You can't commit to that much stuff.
But it was fun.
Too much. It's true. It is fun.
It's fun to hear yourself talk about games and listen to no one else.
As you're the guest, have you got a story? We like a story. Have you got a good story this week?
Something funny.
Something funny happened.
He's looking weirdly at the ceiling.
I haven't got any stories, I suppose. But you know what? I did yesterday. My wife was away this weekend.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Here's two stories.
I'll give you. Turn the lights off, did you? Ah, yeah.
I did turn. I turned the lights down. I did. I got down here. My wife was away. I have teenage kids, so they sleep till midday.
Yeah, so we got the VR headset on. You know.
So I came downstairs yesterday morning, and I ended up playing on the decks for about 5 hours.
Oh, nice! No, that's the story I like to hear.
I thought you'd like that.
That is impressive. Can I just say, by the way, I have a Newmark
Jesus
Mixed
Christ.
Stream Pro. I had to be what it's even called now. What is it called? Which is a great
Pro?
Mixed Stream Pro. No, I don't have no mixed track crap. No, Mixed Stream, so it's a standalone. It's got Engine DJ, so you don't even need a PC or anything to make it work.
Yeah, I really want a standalone.
Which is cool, right? But this week, they added support on Serato for it. So now it's even better. So it's standalone, and I can use stem separation now. So it's even better.
Nice.
Gotta say, it's a nice bit of kit. I love it. It's compact. It does everything you need it to do. It's not very, fancy. There's not a lot of effects built in. There's only 4, which is a bit, But who uses all that stuff anyway? It just sounds rubbish anyway, doesn't it?
No, you know what I started using more and more?
Go on.
Q points, which I never.
Yeah,
really
Q
used
points
before.
make a massive difference. Yeah, I use them mainly for when vocals come in. I don't know about you, Fraser.
Well, I don't play anything with vocals.
Well, I
so
know you don't. You play everything that's just noise.
If there's vocals or a piano break or anything that it remotely
John,
alludes to like, putting your hands in the air, it's getting turfed out of my collection.
Well, what you could do now is you could have a cue point where the vocal starts and ends, and then you can just skip it.
That's right.
Just
Yeah.
skip it while you're playing. That's all you need to do. Or if you had Serato with stem separation, you could just completely lose the vocals entirely. You just get rid of them.
So
I have stems on my on mine.
when you it took me ages to find this, so let me have this one, Fraser. When the wife was there, did you just like turn the lights down? And you
Go, oh yeah, time for me time.
was it that? Did you do that?
It's the same as it when your wife goes out. It's the exact same. Mike.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
time to get my cue out and stroke some balls.
Snooker.
Yeah. Well,
See,
DJing is a lot
Christ.
like snooker.
Yeah, it is. You've got to push the right buttons to get it to work properly, haven't you, Fraser? Totally
You know,
like it.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
The exact same thing.
Same
Well,
thing.
no, it's the whole craft is about yourself, right? And you're always analyzing what you're doing. I
Definitely.
say it in jest, but
it's
actually,
totally true. It's totally true.
it's having that sort of hobby where it's like it's your hobby.
You're
It
in the
really
zone.
doesn't the zone big time.
I
yeah,
think
big
what's
time.
interesting about DJing for me is like you listen to it back after you've recorded it and you're like, oh, that could have been a bit sharper. You know what I mean? Or I just brought a bit too
Well,
much.
someone has to listen to it, Stu.
Yeah, just shut up. you.
Well, I listen to
a bit too much treble.
I listened to one of your mixes actually.
All right,
Um,
yes. There's too many
It
vocals.
was it
for
was
you.
from staying in. It was from
Of
the one
old
where I
one.
joined you for half an hour.
Oh, that was good. That was more than that. It was about an hour, wasn't it? You were on?
Yeah. It's good to listen
Mm.
to. Yeah, I've listened to one of your recent mixes too. Your mixing is getting better for sure.
It's tighter. I think I'm a lot tighter.
Right.
It's tight. It's tight.
That shit
Uh,
is
and
tight.
I'm a lot better bringing stuff in on the drop and
Sorry.
stuff like that, so the vocals hit exactly when they should do and things like that. So I'm getting a lot better instinctively. I'm also, Fraser, you'll be pleased to know, learning to mix vinyl at the moment,
Oh,
Oh yeah,
which is very difficult.
it's tough, eh?
It's
it
very
is
tough. Have you tried? Yeah, I'm assuming you've tried it.
Well, I used to have a set. I used to have a set of 1210. So back
Yep.
in the day, I was
Back
all
in
we
the
were
day.
mixing was vinyl, right? And then I
Yeah.
sold my decks, and I nearly bought a set of Technics this week. Or I tried to,
Oh.
but they eluded me.
Well, he's got
but
12
I'm
Go-
not sure I want to go back to vinyl mixing. Like if I can get a pair of decks that are reasonably priced, but it's a lot of hard work
They're
for
not cheap.
a lot of
think-
outlay.
I think the issue, the main issue that I have, right, I'm learning on 1210 Mark IIs and a mixer, and the original ones from the 90s, and he's had them since they were new. So, but they're a bit battered because he used to do a lot of gigs around Southport near us and what have you. But it's my biggest issue is when I'm mixing with vinyl is working out whether it's going too fast or too slow, and then finding that sweet spot. And it's getting my brain to compute whether I need to slow it down and speed it up. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I mean? And
But
it's
you could do
finding
that. But you could practice though with your.
I know I could put like something over the screen so I can't see it and do that. And I have thought of doing that, but it's so different when you're on vinyl.
Yeah.
Getting it to drop at the right place, etc. But I am enjoying it, but it's frustrating at the same time. And I'll be honest, he's got some really crappy headphones, so I
Oh,
can't
jeez.
hear the bass as well as I could do. He's fine. I mean, because obviously he's done it for donkey's years. It takes
Well,
him
his hearing's probably wrecked anyway.
yeah, so he doesn't give a
So-
shit. It takes him 3 seconds to get it in sync. You know what I mean? It takes me about a minute.
Yeah.
of
You're
messing around.
desperately trying to get it done before the
Yeah,
record
yeah,
runs out.
yeah. That's exactly what it's like. But I'm going again tomorrow. I'm determined. It was my New Year's resolution to learn to mix vinyl.
Hey, look.
And
Well,
mix
but the
it
thing
well.
is, if you find it fun, and I always found it fun, So it's not a task. It's not a
I mean,
chore. Right?
You can't do the same amount of tricks and stuff, and it's obviously there's a lot more skill involved. But I am enjoying it. It is fun, and he's got the biggest collection of dance music you've ever seen in your life. He's got a garage just full of vinyl records. I mean, just stacks and stacks and stacks upon stacks of them. So what he does every week when on the weeks that I come, he just pulls a load out that will work together, and he goes, right, off you go.
Nice.
And then he just, he keeps telling me what I should be doing, and then he'll do it when I do it wrong. And but it's fun and equally frustrating all at the same time.
Yeah.
But
if it was
have
easy, everyone would do it.
Well, exactly.
That's what my dad says.
It's totally true. Have I got a story for you guys though? Fuck me, I've had the weirdest
Well,
surreal week.
You mean there's
we
more
just have your story?
Oh, yeah, there
stories?
is.
Oh,
This
God.
honestly, this is the most surreal
Oh.
thing that has ever happened to me. So
I doubt that.
I know it is. Trust me.
Did I do my story?
No, well,
No.
you said you didn't have one, did you?
No.
Did you have one? You said you were mixing for 5 hours, and then that was kind of we
That
got
was
onto
Stu
DJ
being
stuff.
polite so he could
No,
open
it
up
was
the
a shit
conversation
story. No,
so
go
he
on,
could
no,
start
seriously.
his story.
No,
I'm
let's-
just kidding. Go ahead.
Let's
go
hear
ahead.
your story. No, let's hear
There
it.
is no
Have you-
story.
didn't have
Oh,
one.
there
There's
is-
no story.
He didn't have- I thought he didn't. Now I'm all confused.
I knew. No, that was my
Oh.
story, and I knew it would kickstart a Stu conversation.
So
Come on then.
here's
Come on
the
then,
thing.
Tolkien.
Here's the thing, right? On Tuesday, I'm at work. Phone rings
Yeah.
while I'm serving, so I
Yeah.
couldn't
Serving.
answer it.
You're serving. You're working. Phone rings.
So I finished
gotcha.
work.
I got your phone.
So I'm like, so it's a mobile number. I'm like, I don't recognize it. It's not in me. It's not in me address book or anything. Who's
Scam.
ringing me? Who is this?
Scam.
That's automatically what I
Scam.
thought.
Scam.
First thing I thought, it's a scam.
Scam.
So I rang it. So I'll ring it back, see who it is, get some scam line, but it isn't, right. So this voice answers at the other end, and I went, "Hiya there, I've got a missed call from this number," and he went, "All right, yeah. Is that Stuart Fowler?"
Yeah.
Right, like that. And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Well, this is Stuart Fowler too."
Oh.
And I went, "You what?" Right. And
Nice.
he went, This is also
this is Stuart Fowler
Fowler
2, the sequel.
Yeah. Right. So I was like, what? So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is like Twilight Zone.
It took you quite a long time to realise that someone else might have the same name as you.
Well, no,
And he's
but what are the
probably ringing
chances-
because there is
Why
some
is he
sort of
ringing?
mix-up.
There is a mix-up. So
Of course. I figured that out in 2 seconds, Stu.
Yeah, shut up.
Why is that so
Shut up.
confusing for you?
So I figured it out pretty quick. So I said, and then he said, "Have you ordered a watch by any chance?" And I said, "I might have done." And he went, And then it dawned on me, you see, what it is, here's the issue. Kay's phone, at some point, she's put stuart.fowler@gmail.com
Oh,
with missing the number off the end of my name, you see.
these women.
So what's happened is I've ordered a watch, and I phoned up the company and said, "I haven't had an order confirmation for the watch I've ordered." And the guy's like, "Oh, let's have a look." And then they obviously realised what the mistake was. But this dude, because he's got my order confirmation, it also had my telephone number on. So he
Yeah.
decided to ring me. Because what he thought had happened was that someone was scamming him and had used his credit card to buy a watch with and have it sent to a different address. So he's then phoning up trying to get the watch cancelled.
Yes.
I
It's
was
like a
like,
tennis match of who
oh,
can buy or
Who could-
cancel the
oh my
watch.
God. As it happened, the watch arrived safely, so he didn't manage to cancel it. on
Was
my-
he a DJ
my
as
behalf.
well, Stu, or...?
I didn't really ask because I was going to start asking him stuff because I'm like, I wonder if there's any parallels. I mean, it's just a
Yeah,
name, so obviously there isn't. But
No.
it then felt a bit stalkerish, so I just didn't. You know what I mean? It's into like.
Do you want to be
maybe-
mates?
Yeah,
you should have
yeah.
become friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't become
You are
friends.
friends.
Think of the hilarity
Fowler and
when
Stuart
you're out.
Fowler.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your name, Stuart Fowler? What's your
Yeah.
name?
How
If
did
I'd
you
managed
guys- Imagine the story like when people ask how
Oh.
you met.
Hey,
I know.
Yeah.
You see, if I could have got a bit friendly with him, I could have got him on the show tonight. How funny would that have been?
That would have been
Dude.
awkward.
Well, then you would have had to. Mike wouldn't have been able to be on, so I don't know
Yeah,
why that would have
actually,
been.
that
we
would
could
have been
four
great.
people. Bring him on. Stuart, I'm Stuart Fowler. This is Stuart Fowler.
Oh,
How weird
God.
would
It
that
would have
fucking
been
be?
2 hours of you going, can you believe our names are the same?
He
Can you
was
believe that?"
actually, he was quite a funny guy. He was quite a funny guy as well. So I'm like, well,
So
we've
he's
got
not
that
like
in
you.
common. So he's quite a funny guy because he went, yeah, it's quite a nice watch that. I nearly had it redirected. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay then.
God, those
Um,
nights with the 2 stews would be...
Oh, they'd be
They'd be
just
going quick.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Do you want to
be-
see the watch? Look, do you want to see the watch? By the way, it's a very cool watch. Here we go. I'll put it up to the camera.
Wow.
That
God,
is-
I can
that
see
is
why he sent
cool.
it back.
It's a cool watch, Right. This is a Bulliver Lunar Pilot watch, right? Which was actually it's like a homage, I guess, but it's by the same company. This watch was used in one of the moon landings. So one of the captains of the moon landing had this watch on. Well,
Yeah.
not this particular one, but a watch.
Did he bring it
exactly
back?
The same. He did it. It went under auction in 2016 and sold for $1.4 million. It
Okay.
sold for.
Wow.
This wasn't that much, by the way. It was a bit cheaper than that, but you know, it was
Just a
still quite
bit.
expensive.
Just a
It was
bit.
quite an expensive watch for me. I don't. It's
Just
the
a bit.
most expensive watch I've ever bought.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Like, so it's over 20 quid then?
It's well over 20 quid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's well over 20 quid. It's got a 262 kilohertz movement in, which means it only loses or gains 10 seconds a year.
Yeah.
Well, I
I've-
think
So it's-
Bulova, if I'm not mistaken, Bulova were one of the initial pioneers of the quartz movement or something, I think.
That is correct. They did, well, the super fast ones. So they make the super fast quartz movements.
yeah, well,
so there you
luckily
go.
watches are no longer irrelevant, are
Because
they?
it-
So
oh well, they're not. They're becoming
know.
trendier and trendier. at the
luckily they're
moment.
not just a
People are-
fashion accessory. They're really useful. You know.
Well, yeah, they tell the time, and it's
It's a
got
nice
a date
watch.
window.
It's a
so it
nice
doesn't-
watch, Stu. It's a nice watch.
It's
I
a
was-
nice watch.
I was
It's
wearing
nice
this
watch.
is a proof that I'm getting older, Stu. Do you want to hear Chinny's getting older
on.
story?
Oh, go on, we like
I was,
it. That.
I was wearing my Casio watch, £6. Thank you very much. And
There you go. Classic.
and I was like, my thumb and finger were getting numb, and I'd been wearing this watch, and I've been playing Power Wash Simulator, and I had carpal tunnel from playing Power Wash Simulator too much.
That is quite funny.
That
Oh,
is true,
jeez.
and
Wow.
I'm just getting old. Like that I don't have the dexterity anymore for these germs.
That's what happens. Do you know? I got a bit of that when I was doing Flight Simulator a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and
Mhm.
having that weird position holding the
I mean,
joystick.
I'm not mad that I'm getting old. I'm just mad that Power Wash Simulator was the game that did it. You know, because
You know? I know.
washing down those things.
Do you know the
Right,
worst wrist or carpal tunnel aching? I mean, I have a little bit of ache in my hand, my mouse
Yeah, we
hand.
know because
The
that's what
worst-
happens when
Yeah,
your
yeah.
wife goes
Oh,
out.
yeah.
The
Well,
worst,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Gaming was never the worst for it. The worst for it, and what
Oh,
initially caused me,
yeah.
what initially caused me all the problems was when we first got things like instant messenger, and I was just click, click,
Ah,
click,
yeah.
click, 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 tapping away, chatting
Yeah.
to friends and stuff like that, not doing my job. Oh, it's
Okay, the wife is out.
Time for some
to
IM.
Ow, my wrist! Fucking jeez.
Yeah, just like that.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
Sean in the chat, he says, but Stu doesn't care about anything that goes. Look, people have got it all wrong. I'm very interested in space exploration. I just the
Well,
only
yeah, but you've got a
statement
tattoo that says
I
"I
have.
hate Neil Armstrong."
I do
which is I
hate
just
Neil
find
Armstrong.
odd.
It's true because he wore an Omega watch, which are about $6,500, which is
Bellend.
way too expensive.
Bellend.
But yeah, no, I don't. I love space. I think it's fascinating. But what my statement
gonna do this
was,
again.
right, that it's a pointless cost of money. It's just for curiosity's sake. There's no material benefit from
for
space
the
exploration.
Oh, this one. I heard this last
Yeah,
before. Oh,
yeah.
I should have prepped for this one. All right, I'm not
Yeah,
getting
you
into it.
should.
It's for the
Yeah, you
lols.
should.
For
For
we
the
talk
lols,
about
anyway.
fucking games?
Yeah, let's talk about some games. We've
I
been
don't have a
playing.
jingle, so games. Fraser,
Play some games.
play the games, you motherfucker. Fraser, you're the guest. You look like you've got a face of regret. Look at you. Like,
Yeah,
why
he's
did I
like,
say-
"What?"
Games.
It's happening.
Have I not
Um,
told you? Have you not heard? I am done with gaming.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
all are.
it's DJing.
You've invited the wrong person.
I think games are finished. I think they're done. Everybody's just decided at the same time that games
They're
are
so last
shit.
year.
Yes, so
They are. Oh,
yeah.
old fashioned.
They're like Limp Bizkit. Just get over it. It's over. You know.
Yeah, I have a problem with gaming right now, and I think we may have discussed this in private the
We-
other
we-
day,
we
Mike, when
talked
we were
about it
chatting
on
about it.
Discord.
I find, yeah, I'm not getting the buzz from games like I used to. I don't know
This
what
happens.
it is.
Do you not think this sort of happens every now and again, though? It's kind of a cycle, isn't it? I think this happens. I think it's
There's
a normal
definitely
part of being a
cycles.
gamer.
The problem I have right now is unless I'm playing a game where I'm with friends or I'm fighting against friends, then I find games to be generally pretty boring.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time you played a single player game? You know, where you just played on your own.
You know what? I enjoy single player games. Going back to things I've played in the past that I know are like comfy slippers. That's where I
Now,
am with that. Like,
I don't
I've
want
been
to
playing
sound
some
old and
Zelda.
say they don't make them like they used to, but they don't.
They don't
Yeah,
make
I
them
mean,
like they
GoldenEye.
used to.
GoldenEye's quality.
GoldenEye. You know what I mean? GoldenEye. That was the thing.
Everybody loved it. It was great.
What? That's yeah.
No
I
idea
think
what he's going. I don't know whether this is worse than Duke, to be honest.
Yeah,
I've got to.
yeah. He's got. Can't. Don't overuse it there.
I know. Yeah, yeah. He's
So-
overusing it a bit.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, oh man, like there used to be, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 like AAA games a year, and then there
Mhm.
used to be like B tier games, like B movie games, like you know, in the middle, and then a few indie games. Now it's like 1 or 2 AAA, and then just thousands of indie games every year now, and it's just, I don't know, they're so throwaway. And you know, a game came out. We're going to be talking about a game, Stu, that we both played on the.
Yes, we
on
are.
the-
Yeah, we are. And Fraser played it. I
Fraser played
believe,
it.
or maybe he did. He did it or didn't. I don't know.
and it's like
Might
you know, it's a great
I'm
game.
not going
but
to
it's-
spoil that surprise.
But like back in the day, before we had like subscriptions and stuff, if that came out, it would have been, you know, look amazing. But it's just, it's just
The other thing, though, is as well is as we get older, and somebody talked about this on another podcast, which is where what got me thinking about it. We've seen a lot over the last sort of 20 for those of us who are even older than Mike. You know, we've been gaming since I was like since the late 70s. early
nappies. Since
80s,
you were in his nappies, man.
practically.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of types of games. We've seen them 100 times before, right? You know, so getting excited sometimes isn't as easy.
I don't think I'm
But-
anywhere near as hyped as I used to be. You know what I mean? E3 used to come around. It's like, oh my god, look what this is! Oh, this is gonna be amazing. And now I'm just like, oh yeah, E3.
Yeah.
Do you know
but
what I
now, don't get
mean?
don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still going to play 2 to 3 hours of Hunt every day, right? Hunt Showdown every day if I can, because I love it. I absolutely adore it. Just, you know, but I'm only playing with friends.
Yeah. But then you're kind of the gamer who latches onto something, then plays it like for ages, and then moves on to the next thing, aren't you? Really, you're a little bit like me, but with multiplayer games.
Yeah, but the thing about the multiplayer games is that I find though is I'm getting old and I'm crap. So
Yeah, well,
unless
yeah.
you play regularly, it's tough, right? You can't just drop yourself into these games after not like some 20-year-old who's got fresh neurons in the back of his head who can and you know quick reaction times and
get fucked, noob.
that's
Yeah.
right. You need to get good.
Get good.
Yeah,
noob.
get good. Yeah, get good. Suck less. That's what you
Yeah.
got to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I still,
but-
but I still do play other games. I still do play other games where I can, you know, because you got to play them because you never know what's going to
See,
hit.
are you
never know.
still playing Valheim? Is that a thing anymore?
No, I
No.
never really
See?
got into Valheim though. I played.
You
I
played loads of that game.
I
Don't
didn't. I
come in
didn't
doing
play
never
lot.
gonna-
I played quite a bit, but I
No.
didn't play as much as everyone else. I basically
Mm.
started it and then skipped the whole middle bit until they got to the final boss, and then I joined in at the end to
Yeah.
bask in the glory. But I didn't really do any of the heavy
Yeah.
lifting.
Yeah.
Because you played loads of Rust as well. Remember
Rust was fun, but
was
you
fun.
know, we were all playing Rust and running around having a.
So
a
have you
jolly
played the
old
new
time.
updated version? Have you played
No.
that?
It's all
See,
about the
maybe-
hunt. It's all about the
all about-
hunt.
It's all about a hunt, isn't it? Now
Hunt's the one right now. Yeah.
Hunt's
yeah.
the one. So
Yeah.
so talk a little bit about Hunt, because I have no idea what this is. We were talking about this the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
Hunt.
thought
so-
it was one of these 4
Okay.
versus 1 things in it, isn't it?
No. So you start off on a big map. You have maximum of 12 people on the
It
map
recently
at one
occurred to me
time.
that all
On the map are a number of villages, and somewhere in the villages are the bosses. And so there's a number, and all throughout the land are enemies like AI. And really the purpose is to go find the bosses and kill them. So you go around to the villages, you pick up these clues, the clues lead you eventually to the boss. And I suppose it's that similar premise as PUBG where you're drawn to a central point, right? So, you know, once you get to a boss, other players are going to start coming into that boss as well, because once you kill the boss, you get the bounties, you extract with the bounties, and and it just ends up being all these big firefights.
So what? So what are the bosses? Are they monsters?
Yeah, they're monsters. So there's 4 different bosses. It's pretty random what you're going to get in a match, and so you go in, you have to fight them. Sometimes that can go well, sometimes it doesn't go so well. When you're fighting the bosses, other teams might roll up and kill you. So there's a lot of PvP, there's PvE, and if you're playing in teams, it's strategic, and it's tough, but it's fun. And there's lots of other weapons and tools to use at your disposal. You can play a sneaky game, you can play a sniper game, you can go with shotguns. And even if you don't engage and just hang on the sidelines and all the action happens and you miss it, you can still extract. You don't lose your hunter, and you come back the next. And it's not so final as something like PUBG, where when you're dead, you're dead. And there's tons of leveling up. There's a lot more under the hood as well of stuff you can pay attention to. It's just its depth is. I've probably put in about 700-800 hours now, and I'm still
Jesus
feel like
Christ.
still figuring it out.
How can you still be figuring it out after 800 hours?
I'll tell you. I'll give you an example.
What are you figuring out?
Today or this week, one of the things that I've started paying attention to is if we get into a fight with somebody and they're at a distance and they shoot me with a pistol, chances are now because they shot me with a pistol, they didn't shoot me with a rifle. So chances are they've got a shotgun as their other gun. And so now you're getting into thinking, right, well, he shot me with a pistol, so I better keep my distance from him, because if I get close to him, he's going to kill me with a shotgun. So it's just that, that's just a little nugget of thinking that we didn't have, or I didn't have last week and the time before. So always learning little things to try and improve your game. And so that's why I'm so drawn into playing it regularly, because you keep your eye in, you remain half decent at it, and you're continually learning. It's just it's great. It's great.
This is a recruitment drive. If anybody wants to come and play at Seal Podcast, just come and see us.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's
Oh, boy.
desperate, isn't he, to get people? It's like a drug dealer. Come on, try a little bit first, see what you think.
Yeah, but I'm the drug dealer who loves the drugs,
Yeah.
right? Come on, let's go. I'll go have a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fun, right? But you've seen it before. Like I say, we all got stuck into PUBG for a long time. We all got stuck into Valorant for a long time.
See, Chinny gave up PUBG once he got his chicken dinner, solo chicken dinner. He barely played it after that. He was done.
Yeah.
Solo chicken dinner is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's
Not
And he had
everyone
a
can say they've
full-on
got one.
audience. Full-on audience,
Wow,
didn't you, Chinny?
I did it live. Yeah, I did it live.
Did it live,
Wow.
live at Arcade Club while
Yeah.
everyone were there.
So for
quite
people,
impressive.
somebody asked in the chat, Fraser's podcast is Seal Podcast. Seal as in a earth kind of seal. You've got a Twitter, Fraser. So Seal Podcast, I've got it on the screen.
Yeah,
there.
probably the fastest way to find us is Twitter @Seal Podcast. If you look up Seal Podcast all you get is this Navy SEAL stuff, which
Yeah.
we're buried.
So,
If you-
can I ask, where did the name come from? How did you decide
SEAL
on
Team
Seal?
6.
Yeah, because when we were playing PUBG, we used to call ourselves SEAL Team 6, which
Yeah.
was supposed to be ironic,
Yeah, it was a joke.
and it was funny, but actually, when you take a step back, it's really sad.
Yeah.
I sort of acknowledged that, but it just stuck. And then here's the thing: we decided to do the podcast because we were getting along so well as a group, and I thought we should just use SEAL Podcast rather than have gamers in our title. No offense,
Yeah.
veteran gamers.
That's
No, it's fine.
okay. That's fine. We're
I
not
wish-
annoyed.
I wish we had a different name, to be honest, but there's not much we can do
Yeah.
about it now.
Yes, it is what it is.
But it's not the best name because it's not that easy to find us. But then once you know, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be someone in the know to find you. You see.
Yeah. You're like
Someone
one of
in the
those, what do you call it? Speakeasies.
Speakeasy.
He's like a speakeasy bar. So
Funny enough, you say that. I was walking with a friend today. He said his son went to a bar in the city yesterday, and nothing on the outside about what it was or whatever. They went down into the basement and it was rocking.
Yeah.
So I think it's sort of that sort of place,
speakeasy.
Yeah,
but not as
yeah, I
good.
like that. It's good.
Or speakeasy
Ginny-
would also be a good name for a podcast. Anyway, yes, what?
What have you been up to? What have you been playing then?
Sexual endeavours. Now
Well,
I have finished 2 games.
2 games. You finished 2 whole games in 1
2
week.
games this week.
What the fuck is the matter with you?
So shove that up your pipe and
Shit.
stick it. All right, I finished Power Wash Simulator.
Oh, did you finally? Yeah, but we haven't done the Lara Croft stuff yet. We've got
No.
to do that, haven't we?
I finished the main career. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Career. My
So what's the
career.
final thing you have to clean then?
Well, the final thing is a temple.
Oh,
Like
that
a-
was the thing
like a-
you was doing last week. What you were
Like a
doing last week.
pyramid.
weren't we?
Like a pyramid,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we saw
Uh,
this. We saw it.
So that was big. I think the hardest thing that you have to clean is there's a monster truck that's in the shape of a cat. There's this constant reference to like there's always a cat missing in every level. Like you see like the paws prints and you see like little signs and stuff for the cat. And there's even a little cutscene at the end when you finish the game regarding the cat. So there's even a little payoff with the cat. But yeah, you finish this temple thing, and yeah, it's just Power Wash Simulator. I don't know. What do you want? But I think we're gonna play the Lara Croft Mansion
We are.
together.
We're gonna do that.
So we're gonna have to commit to that this week, and
Yes, we are.
we'll stream that live on
We will.
YowChowb. And
So
Sorry, what
any
was that?
shadows
we're gonna
that want to see
stream.
us cleaning stuff.
We're gonna stream co-op Power Wash Simulator, Fraser.
Oh, I thought you
Put
said
it-
Lara Croft.
Put it in your
Is it?
calendar.
Yeah.
Put it in
Oh,
your
it's this Lara Croft mansion, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that.
yeah, we're going to be doing that. So that should be fun. We'll put that together and see what comes of it.
You can come and join us if you like, Fraser. You want to chill
There's-
out,
there's,
just
you
clean
know,
some
just-
shit.
What's
Right,
that?
how many can clean at the same time?
You've got to go. I don't
Four, is
know.
it?
I think it's 2 or 4. Yeah, it's either going to be.
Yeah, it could be 4. Could be 4.
Sometimes it's 2.
See, maybe this is the thing. That's what I need. Co-op
Yeah, maybe just something
honestly,
chill.
Power
it's-
Wash Simulator.
It's just great. I don't know what it
I
is.
have-
It's just.
I have
great.
played it. I have played it, and I understand. I understand why it does what it does to you.
You understand the assignment, as the kids say. You understand what it's supposed to do.
No, it's not that I understand what it's supposed to do. It's that I understand what it does to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I understand
Um,
it. It doesn't do the same to me, unfortunately. But I get it. I know what. You know what? I did enjoy. I did enjoy chilling out doing it,
It's chilly. It's chilling out. Yeah.
and then I got a little bit annoyed with it. I think I found it.
Oh, what annoyed you? Just the boredom, or
I would
Well, why
rather
we-
have the freedom of movement. I felt restricted with the controller controlling this thing. I would have been happier if I'd had a real power wash. If I was power washing for real, I guess.
oh, okay.
Whatever. That is
So
so
messy, though.
boomer
Man.
of
So
you.
messy. Honestly,
Yeah.
He
yeah.
says that like he's not a boomer anymore, right?
I'm not a boomer.
Yeah, you are now.
I'm
Oh,
not.
man.
No, it doesn't work like that. You're a boomer, and then you're a boomer forever. I'm a millennial. That's what I have to live with, unfortunately.
Are you a millennial?
Technic-
Have you scraped in on the
I
millennial?
scraped.
Because I'm not a
like
boomer.
you're Gen X, aren't you? You're Gen X, but you're
Yeah, Gen X sounds cool as
I'm
fuck.
Gen X. Yeah, I'm a millennial, so I'm just a whiny little. I'm an old millennial, basically. So millennials are like 1983 or something till something. So, but I qualify as a millennial, so go me. But millennials are getting old now.
Shit.
They're done. You know, millennials are over. It's all about the Gen Z. Yeah. Anyway, Power Wash Simulator is good. Yes, Pillow of Soft in the chat says, have you seen Shipbreaker? I've heard a lot of stuff about Shipbreaker. So Shipbreaker is a game where you are in space, and it's kind of like Power Wash Simulator, but instead of jet washing everything, you are breaking down the ship and selling it for scrap. And it's like a really relaxed, zen sort of chilling out game. So I have heard of it. Maybe I'll try it, but
maybe this is the next game you have to play.
maybe. But we've got a fucking mansion of a adventurer
Yeah, we've
explorer
got
to
Lara
clean.
Croft's mansion.
Lara Croft's been on the
inside
phone.
and out.
She's been on the phone.
Inside
She
and-
says, "Excuse me, I'm looking for a power wash expert, and I'll be. Oh, hold on. I need the voice. I need to.
Oh,
What's the voice?
And then I'll be
I
like,
can't wait.
oh yeah, could you come round at any point if that's okay?
Okay. Oh yeah, I can come round, baby.
You know, it'll be that, wouldn't it?
It'd be perfect.
She'll sound like this. She'll sound like,
Could you come round, please?
you know, there's loads of voices here. I can keep going.
Have you got a really good robot?
Yeah, there is a robot.
Hang on, let's ask the robot a question.
Hold on. Wait. Let me go get him. Yeah, I've got him. What do you want to ask him? What do you want to ask him?
What's your favorite? What's the best console, Mr. Robot?
The best console is the Nintendo Rob the Robot.
Are you related to him?
We had a thing once. It got complicated and awkward. He put his port A into my port B.
Okay.
We had sex. That's what I'm saying. We had dirty robots.
Sounds like you should
It
get a
was
Power Wash
all over the
simulator in there.
place. Everything. There was wires everywhere. Dirty bastard robot, isn't he?
Honestly, I mean,
oh,
put him away. Put him
God,
away.
he's-
Oh my God.
I daren't touch him. He's absolute filth. Yeah. So we'll do that. So I don't know what night you're free, Stu.
I'll have a look. I'm sure
Let's
we
just
can
face it.
talk
You're
with
probably
them.
free every night.
What are you trying to say? I'm busy most nights. I've got a
Let's just
packed
face
schedule.
it. Your diary says blank. Do you know what I mean? Look, that's
Packed. I am packed with
yeah.
stuff.
We'll do it. We'll do it. So Power Wash Simulator. That's one of the games. I will come back to me later to find out what the other game is that I finished. Ka-chow.
Right. Well, I'm going to talk about. What shall I talk about first? Elden Ring. Let's get that out of the way. Not a lot more to say about it. This game is still amazing. I found yet another new area. I'm just finding new areas all the time. You think you've found pretty much everything there is in the game. You've never. It's like Skyrim. You've never found pretty much everything in the game. It's just
How
fucking
did
enormous.
the demons find their way around? Do you know they must get lost?
I'm not surprised. They must get lost all the time in this huge.
That's what I'd love if I saw in the game, like some enemies getting lost, like they were looking at a map, going like, "I'm sure we was.
Where the hell am
Where
I?
are we supposed to be? We're supposed to be in the pit of shit, but we're in the, greenery of.
I'm level. I
death.
mean, just to give you some context, I'm level 122 now.
Pillow
I've
of
got a
Soft said, "Which area are you in?"
I've just found the dragon area, so where all the dragons are, right? And you come into it, and there's loads of just like smaller dragons, but they're still fucking enormous. That you can fight,
What,
and you
like
get loads of.
A bus, size of a bus,
Yeah, probably big, probably twice the size of a bus.
a
I
double
would have
decker
said.
bus.
Yeah,
I
twice
saw
the
one,
size of a double-decker bus.
I did see one guy fighting a dragon near a bridge or whatever. That looked really cool. He was
But
fighting. It was
then-
a big old dragon.
But then I'm running up the hill, right?
Run
I
up
saw-
the hill.
Oh,
saw what
you
looked like-
didn't.
I saw what looked like a mountain.
I'm sorry.
Right?
It's low hanging fruit.
I'm
Well,
running up the hill, I'm running up
that's
the
me.
hill.
Running up the hill. You know.
And I'm running up the
do
hill
you want?
towards what this fort thing. I'm like, oh, castle. I like exploring castles. So I'm legging up the hill, and there's this what looks like a big white mountain halfway up the hill. But then I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that's another fucking dragon. I'm not kidding you.
I'm
This
gonna
thing,
need a bigger boat.
this thing was like 7 normal-sized dragons,
Yeah.
but it was just lying on the floor, right? Just sort of laying there. And I'm like, is it alive? Is it just like some giant dead sky? And then it moved its head and looked at me, and I'm like, yeah, I think
Maybe
I'll just,
he had maybe a splinter in his paw.
maybe I'll just skirt around the outside edge of this
Yeah.
ginormous dragon. So I didn't attempt to fight it because it was fucking enormous, right? And I'm like, how do you fight something that big? Just hit it on the foot or something. So I got there, and then I cleared out this fort, and that was pretty cool. And then I went down the mountain. There was like another Elden tree.
Right.
So they're called Erd trees in the Elden Ring. They're called Erd trees. And there's minor ones, and then there's like massive ones. But this was like a minor Erd tree. But each one has like a tree guardian guarding it. And they're all different. And this thing was fucking rocking. It just killed me 3 times straight away. Every time I tried to fight it, it just killed me. So even though I've got it on easy mode, right, and I'm fucking level 122, I'm still constantly coming across like enemies that are still rock. Do you know what I mean? So even when you think you've got it easy because you're playing on easy mode, and then I think like, how hard must this have been in normal mode?
Well, Neil on our podcast, he played this a load, and one of the things that I learned from him that you need to do in this game is get good.
Yeah, you've just got to get good.
Get good.
Timing. Timing is everything. Timing.
Pillow
looking
of
out
Soft.
Fight.
Pillow of Soft in the chat says, "Ooh, the massive dragon area. Kill its babies." So I don't know what he's talking.
Maybe that's what you got to do. There's a lot of little. There is a lot of smaller type dragons around, but
kill its babies.
You know, so
I've killed a few dragons as it goes. They are fun to fight because they fly away and then they burn you and they set you on fire and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Lovely.
But needless to say, this game is still brilliant, and I think I will beat this boss eventually. I'll keep on trying. I keep leveling up, and I'll keep on fighting it. You've just got to get a strategy.
Sorry to interrupt. What happens when you die?
No, this is quite a forgiving game when you die. It isn't. Well, it isn't. It isn't. If you're playing in easy mode, it's quite forgiving because there is like they're called like sites of grace or whatever, and they're like the bonfires in Dark Souls. So basically, when you activate one, you respawn there.
Right.
But there's one of these next to every boss fight. So wherever there's a massive creature to fight, there's always one of these sites there. So when you get killed, you can just go in and have another go.
And you don't lose any souls or anything.
Of course you do. Of course you do. And it's the same as Dark Souls. You have to get back to your body to reclaim the souls you've lost.
Right.
But if you're playing in easy mode, you just press the Y button when you respawn and it just recollects them for you. So you don't...
so it does make the dream.
Honestly, it makes it so much easier.
Do you have a little button to kill the bad people as well?
No, it's not quite that easy.
Mm.
But it's quite good for grinding because obviously you can grind the big enemies and then reclaim the souls if you get.
I've got a voice here, Stu, that just says fear. So I'm just going to press it and just pretend that I'm you playing the game. So like, oh no, there's a bad guy over there. I don't want to die. And press the button. That's you. That's you.
That's me. But no, it isn't quite that easy. But it does make it a lot easier, and it's pretty easy to set up as well. Once you know what you're doing, it's fairly straightforward. You just swap a couple of files in the game folder. Once you've swapped them over, you're sorted. You can just play on easy mode to your heart's content.
No, when I do play this game, eventually, I will play it like a proper person.
Like it was intended.
Like a proper gamer.
Like it was intended.
Yeah,
I ain't got no time for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm level 122 and I've been playing for 38 hours.
What you want?
Now...
Medal?
Well, no, let me finish. Most normal people, to get to that kind of level in the game, will probably have to play for about 60. Like double the amount of time.
Yeah, you can't just play this game, can you? You've got to be playing other things, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you were playing in normal mode, you've got to play something to relieve the tension because you'd be constantly dying. I mean,
the
you would
sexual
die
tension
all the time. Well, that's Fraser when his wife goes out.
That'll be the robots again. Yeah, you know.
Squirting oil everywhere.
Dirty bastard. Yeah, I will get to it. I just feel like I've just played a game that was all encompassing the God of War Ragnaroks. And I feel like, I'm just going to leave it for a bit longer. But maybe I should play it. I
think you will enjoy it. I don't know whether you'll stick with it, though, because it is so unrelentingly punishing. If you play.
You're talking to me, the person that will finish.
Oh well, do you know
anything.
what? You're getting older now.
Oh yeah.
You aren't as young as you used to be.
He's shit talking you, Ginny.
He's not as young as he used to be. He's getting old these days. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes him to go. Stu, How do we install this?
Look at
easy
it. You
mod?
know what he's doing,
Oh,
Fraser?
man.
He's,
Tell you
he's
what,
trying.
if anybody ever talked to me like that, I tell you. I
Oh,
don't
look!
know.
Look at. Okay, now I'm going to talk to the audience. Look at what's happening here. Stu is trying to bait me into playing this game by saying that I'm shit. Then Fraser is
You are
doubling
shit.
down on the bait and going, "You are shit, Ginny.
Yeah, you are shit.
You'll never play it."
You're
Yeah, but
old
look,
and
Mike
shit.
tried to pull me into his side to start with. Yeah, it's the old the triangle.
I'll
The,
tell you
the
what.
It is,
classic
it is.
podcasting
You know what's annoying as
triangle.
well? It's working. I do want to play it now, just to prove
You're
you
never gonna
fucks.
play it because you're shit. Because you're too
That's all
scared
right.
to play it.
Just bang it on easy mode.
Yeah, it's banging on easy mode. Make it easy for
Yeah.
yourself.
Put it
From the
on.
old-
Put it on boomer mode, and we're off.
Yeah, yeah. But it is amazingly
Boomer
fun.
mode.
It's fun to play like this. I'll be honest. It feel you do feel like a bit
It's
of
a lot
god.
like snooker, if you make it easy for yourself.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of the enemies, like the minor ones, it's like 2
Fraser's
hits and they're dead.
fallen off screen. He's fallen. He's back.
2 hits and they're dead. I tell you.
Basically, I'm playing
Um,
snooker. You're playing pool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which pool is
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
snooker on easy mode. That's all it is.
Yeah. apart from you're not very good at it because I beat you last time I played you. at
One
pool.
rack. You beat me in one rack.
I beat you quite convincingly.
Did
as
you
well.
beat
It
me in
wasn't even
snooker?
like a
Did you
s-
beat me in
It,
snooker?
it wasn't even like a scrape of
Did
a
you
win.
beat me in snooker?
No, I didn't.
Did you beat me in snooker?
And I didn't expect to either.
No.
But whoop your ass at pool.
Whooped. I don't know
I
about
whoop your ass. I gave you a good whooping.
that.
I
Like anybody
remember
could
it
win at
distinctly.
pool. Like a blind person could beat me at pool. It's
That's
just a
what someone who's crap
stupid
at pool would say.
It's just a rubbish game. And anybody that has invested any time into it or sacrificed any of their life should just rethink what they're doing. Anyway, yeah. So you done about Elden Ring? You stopped banging on about.
Yeah, I finished. All right, Fraser, what else have you been up to?
I did. I was listening to a podcast, and I talked about this. So apologies to anybody who's heard me talk about it already. But I was
Does it
listening to a
involve power tools?
No. And I listened to a podcast, and they were doing the games of the year, and Kirby and the Forgotten Lands made this guy's top 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I haven't played anything on the Switch for a while.
No.
So I checked my library, and my library had it. So I put a reservation in for it, and I trotted down there the other day, and I picked up Kirby and the Forgotten Lands for the Switch.
From the
for
library, and he
Yeah,
says that he's
rented.
not a boomer.
Rented.
I don't know what's going
It's like Game Pass, but at the library.
on. Yeah.
I don't tell you, the library is the place to. It's the place to be.
It's the hip happening place, folks.
It's hippity happening.
And so I got Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, and obviously Kirby is a game that has a lot of history, and it's dear to many people's hearts.
Yeah.
It was never dear to my heart, but as far as I'm aware, it was always been a 2D platformer, and this one is done in a 3D styly. And I played it, and I've got to say, I just couldn't get on with it at all.
I've heard it's like very children friendly. You know what I mean? It's very aimed at young people, is what I've heard.
What are you saying? That Fraser's old? Is that what you're saying?
No, like really young people, like
really young. I mean, I just couldn't wrap my head around. It's just, I don't know. I couldn't wrap my head around how easy or I don't want to say childish. It's not. It's really well made and it looks really polished or whatever. But I mean, I went through about 3 to 4 levels, and not one point in there was I even remotely challenged with anything that happened. And it just seemed a bit odd, you know. It just seemed a bit like that, you know. That's it. What? I was massively disappointed. Massively disappointed. I expected more.
Yeah, I can see why. Like, if he's banging on saying it's like one of his top 5 games, and it's if you go in not knowing this stuff, then I could see why.
Well, that's the thing I couldn't understand is like, you know, why would that be somebody's top 5 game? Why would that be somebody's top 5 game?
Because they're an idiot.
Yeah. I assume you've now deleted that
reason.
podcast
Thank
and
you.
unsubscribed to it.
No, I listen to this podcast and I've listened to it for years, and I can't stop listening, even though I disagree with almost everything they ever say.
I had a podcast like
quite
that.
funny.
I had a podcast like that. It was one of these more professional outlets, and I just disagreed with everything. But I kept on, and I've unsubscribed now, and I've never regretted it. But no, they're not an idiot. But it's just like I don't know. Nintendo has a massive like charm and polish to them that most other games don't have. So maybe it's a bit of that, and maybe it's a bit of switch your brain off and just let it go, and also nostalgia gets wrapped into it as well. So Tara has this big thing about Kirby. She loves Kirby, and I have no desire to play a Kirby game at all. So I do have this, Fraser, on my dodgy Switch. And I have it, but she's never tried it or played it. She's never been bothered about it. But yeah,
I mean, go in, check it out. It might surprise you. Maybe, I don't know.
Just play it. Just play it.
Check it out.
Play it. Check it out. Just play it.
Yeah, so that was a little bit disappointing.
That's a shame.
But just going back, I think one of the reasons I do like listening to these guys is they will farm that Nintendo land, and they do bring up the gems that we would have no idea about, right? So, they give you it's good to keep your finger on the pulse of what other people are up to. Otherwise, you miss everything, right?
So, can I ask, did any of them have Bayonetta 3 on their top 5
Yes,
list?
the same guy had Bayonetta 3. I think was his top game.
Oh, of course it was.
So he's just a big Nintendo.
They're massive Nintendo numpties. They love it.
Numpties, such a good word.
Yeah.
Numpties? Was that word?
Yeah, wellyheads.
Nintendo
wellyheads. That's what they are.
God, Fraser got it. Ah, man, I'm so angry.
There you go.
Is that a dog in the background there, Fraser? Your dog?
Oh yeah, there's my dog.
I can see a dog behind a chair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hiding.
I just wanted to check, Fraser, so there wasn't like a person.
Yeah, some wild animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was going to be my story time. Actually, is that my dog? My dog's quite a big dog. He's he's about 110, 115 pounds. He's a big old boy, and I'm always picking him up, trying to pick him up.
Well, for weightlifting purposes,
I go down and I grab him by his chest. He's really barrel chested, and I can lift him up or whatever. And my wife always says, if you're going to do that, you're going to hurt your back. For years, she's been saying, I'm like, whatever.
Shut up, whatever. Yeah.
And guess what?
You've hurt your back.
I am picking him up. I did it. It finally went.
Nice.
She was right. She was right.
See. But you don't tell her, so you're pretending nothing's wrong, I'm guessing.
Oh, I definitely didn't tell her. I'm wondering whether she picked up on the fact that the night I did it, I was like in bed an hour early, lying completely flat.
That's brilliant. Pillow under your lumbar region. What's that for?
Right,
it's fine.
Are you okay, dear? Yep, fine. Absolutely fine.
Fine.
I'm fine. I'm just tired.
Typical stubborn man.
Of course, that's what we all do.
Yeah,
that's what we all do. It's like me, for instance, Fraser. This is absolutely true, right? The night I went to hospital, Kay said, "I'm going to take you to hospital. I think you're really ill," right? When I had the heart failure thing, right? And I just went, well, I'll see how I get on at work tomorrow. And if I'm still not feeling too good,
hang on a second. I haven't climbed that mountain yet.
Then.
Let's do it after that.
Yeah, maybe I'll go then. And she's like, no, I'm just going to tell you, you're going. And then he's like, oh, by the way, you've got heart failure. Maybe she was right. Hard to admit, though. That's the trouble.
Too smart.
How do we know she was right?
Exactly. I could have gone to work the following day. I'd have been fine.
I had an axe sticking out my head.
I don't know what all the fuss was about, really.
I had an axe sticking out my head, and Tara said, you should probably go. And I said, come on,
It's just
if it's still there tomorrow.
It's
That's what you
do. It
did.
still hurts tomorrow.
Did it with that.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
I mean,
think about doing something.
This is how bad I was, Fraser. I got to the top of the stairs at home and couldn't breathe.
Yeah,
and I was still going. I'll go to work tomorrow, and then I'll see how I am.
Yeah.
I'll see how I am.
But Stu, you don't have a pulse. Yeah, but I'll just see how it is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll be fine.
I'll see how it is tomorrow.
But honestly, that's just men in general, isn't it? We're all like, I'll be fine. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's why we all die young, because we're all too busy going, it's fine.
Now I ask my wife why she didn't warn me that was going to happen.
Yeah.
She loves that.
Yeah, exactly. Blame your wife. It's your wife's fault for not telling you.
Well, I was going to do that, yeah. I'll start using that one, Fraser.
You should have physically stopped me.
But
saying things wasn't
What
enough.
do I pay you for? That's what I say a lot. What do I pay you for?
Exactly. But here's the funniest thing, right? I I was making outdoor pizzas for the last time of the summer because it was
again with the outdoor pizzas.
I know, it was the Queen's funeral, right? And I said, it's the last time we'll probably get to do. I'll do some outdoor pizza. She let me make the pizzas first before we went to hospital.
Of course.
And I ate about 3 pieces of mine because I just couldn't really face food or anything.
I remember.
But she let me do that. She was like, yeah, I'll take you to hospital, but first you've got to make the pizzas.
I was
drag the big gas bottle out to do that.
I was talking about the old Queen Elizabeth II the other day because that was when I had that COVID diarrhea stuff. Oh man!
Oh, that's right.
I had it the day she died. I was in a cathedral in Birmingham, and I was like, I need to shit myself. And then they announced she died, and then I was like, fantastic! This is great news. I can leave. So I left. And shut myself, and I didn't get better until a funeral. So in my own way, I mourned her.
Yeah, you did.
I mourned her on my throne. On my throne.
On your throne.
Yeah. So, God bless her. Are we still talking about video games?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure
Fraser,
anymore.
isn't it? Fraser
Nobody wants to talk about video games.
Fraser has this influence of just like talking about anything. Do you know what I mean? Just
random shit.
We're doing it in honor of
By the way,
his show.
Fraser, you'll be pleased, right? Because I have bought some new drill bits. As it goes.
Oh,
nice.
I know. I bought some new drill bits because my other ones were a bit manky. And I'm going to build.
Stu, tell me about these drill bits,
I am in the midst. I'm in the midst of planning to build a built-in wardrobe myself. So I'm going to be doing that.
Sexy.
See, built-in wardrobe.
Nice.
What do you think, Fraser?
Are you sure you should be doing that, Stu? Are you sure?
Well, it's not that heavy, so it should be fine, I reckon. And so it's just a bit of drilling, really. Mate, I've got to make a door casing, in an alcove.
Are you going to make it yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to make it myself from scratch.
Get the satisfaction of doing the job yourself.
Yeah, too right.
Fuck
I can do stuff like that. I can do woodworking.
I can't do that. I can't do it.
I love it.
I'd love to know how to do it,
I love
but
building
I can't.
shit.
You can do it.
Everyone can do it. You just got to try.
I'd love to do woodwork, but I just can't be bothered.
Chinny.
Well, that's different than not being able to.
I do look because I love the smell of wood.
I do. It's great, and it's very evocative, isn't it? But Chinny, there's no such thing as can't. There's only try. Just gotta try, man.
All right, I would love to try and fail that.
Yeah, so I'm making my wife's demanded it, and I said, well, I'm not allowed to lift anything heavy, with her. And she's like, just get on with it. You know what I mean? Well, shut up.
Yeah.
Stop being a pansy.
Yeah.
Tell you. So.
And make the pizzas again.
Yeah, get the pizza oven out and that really heavy gas bottle again. What's the matter with you? So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So I thought you'd be proud of me. I like doing a bit of. I should have done it because joiners get paid a fucking fortune, don't they? Do you know what I mean? I was good. I like
everyone bangs on about doing jobs like that though, but without having done it for a career. I mean, the problem is when you get up into your sort of late 40s, 50s, or whatever, and you've done a hard grafting career, which is
that is true. Joinery is a hard job. It is a hard job. So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have done it as a career. Just do it every now and again.
Just make sure every time you see a carpenter or meet a carpenter, you just tell them your job's easy. I should have done that.
Yeah.
You see, do you know when
That's what I say to the plumbers? I go, your job's easy, man.
Anyone can be a plumber.
You're shit.
Yeah, exactly. What does it matter if there's water everywhere? It's fine.
It's just water.
It's just water. What's the matter with
you?
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing,
though. You can tell when you're serious about DIY. And this is true. You know how you can tell?
Go on.
How you can tell someone's a serious DIYer? They have a spare battery for the drill. Right, this is totally true.
I've got 2 spare batteries for my drill.
Oh, you go. You see, you must be serious and just not at the same time.
No. I always think with DIY and stuff I always dread it, and then I'm doing it, and I'm like, actually, that's pretty easy. Like the dishwasher broke, the top tray thing broke. And I went in there. I went, give me a go on this. Have a look. And I looked at it. I was like, well, it's that just snapped, which is like the little bracket, the little stopper that goes on the end of the bracket.
Yeah. What did you do? I
just bought a new one. I just just slapped it on. But it was easy. Like it was just like, and I just tried like anything that breaks in the ice. I'm like, no.
You see, I'm the opposite, right? This is what I do, right? If I'm planning something big-ish, like building a wardrobe, or when I did the decking. I visualize it for days before I do it. So I'm constantly thinking it through in my head, how I'm going to do it, how it's going to work. Do you know what I mean? And I constantly visualize I mean, do you do this phrase before you do
Yeah,
a
you
big
have to.
job?
If it's a big job, because you learn after a while that if you don't do it properly the first time, you're in a world of hurt. Big time.
Oh, definitely.
Like I put a patio, I laid a patio. I say my wife and I laid the patio. And I really made sure, like, how deep do you have to be? What do you really need for the foundations? Because and all I could think about was if this thing heaves, because the problem we have in Canada is the frost, right? If this thing heaves after a year, I've got to fix this, because already digging out the place where it was going was enough. I never want to do again.
Oh, you do not realize how much soil is in a small space until you start digging it out. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I did a bathroom
skip before you know. I mean, the skip's full before you've even realized.
No, we just put it in the flower beds and built up raised beds. But yeah, like I did a bathroom, and there's still a couple of things that I didn't get right on that, and 10 years on or whatever, I keep looking at it and I'm like, shit, I need to redo that, and I wish I'd got it right the first time.
we did the decking, me and my mate did it, right? And we made a complete rookie error in the first sort of half a day we were doing it. Because we dug everything out, right? And then we built the first frame for the top deck, and then realized we hadn't put the weed membrane down.
Right.
And we were like, fuck, we haven't put the membrane down, right? And I remember looking at the roll at the side, and I'm like, we never put it down. And we'd already made this quite big, like 2 meter by 2 meter framework, right? Big, massive thing. And it was just laid on top of the soil at this point. We hadn't obviously thank God we hadn't fixed it in place. We just laid it on the soil. So my mate, I have a garden shed, and my mate went, oh, it's fine. We'll just push it up against the garden shed, and then we'll lay it, and then we'll lower it back down again, right? That thing weighed fuck knows.
Wood weighs a lot when it gets when there's a lot of it.
My God, right? And I'm like, we were pushing this thing up, and all I can remember thinking was, if one of us slips, we're going to die, because if this thing falls on us, it will crush us. It was so heavy, and we got it up against the side of the shed, and it was about 2 meters in the air, right? And I'm like, oh my God. So we rolled all the membrane down and everything and fixed it in place. And then we had to lower it back. So we're doing this stance braced against it, slowly lowering it back down, sliding our hands up this wooden frame. And I remember the relief I had when it was finally laying back on the ground was unbelievable. When you're like, that could have gone so wrong in so many ways while we were doing it, going both ways. It was ridiculous, honestly.
I'm sorry to bring the show down, but should we talk about video?
Oh, do we have to talk about video games?
I do apologize. I'm sorry.
Do we have to? No, this is interesting. This is fun.
I just don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I think you are being that guy. Right, come on then, Chinny. What else have you been playing?
I finished another game.
Go on.
Called. We started this. We played this as a Play My Game bitch. High on Life.
All right. Okay.
High on Life. Fraser, have you played this?
I did start playing it. Yeah, I thought it was very amusing at the start. It was something I felt like I hadn't seen anything with that much humor and polish at the start. It was very interesting, and then once that had worn off, I realized that it wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was pretty sort of like a generic shooter in the end. However, so I've finished it now, and I was wondering if you guys wouldn't mind if I spoiled some of it for you.
No, do I get as if I'm ever going to play this again?
I've got some notes here. Like, I found the music quite annoying. There's a few films that you can watch in the game. When like you can watch a TV in a game.
Yeah.
You can do that. The jokes slow down a bit as well after the sort of intro. That bit that you played, Fraser, and the jokes are coming thick and fast, aren't they?
Yeah, they can't keep that up, can they?
And they slow down.
And then you're going to get, I would imagine you're going to get repetition then after a while as well.
Yeah, there's a bit of that. So, do you remember that time I talked about it, Stu? We talked about like that highway that warped in, and like people arguing like they're in a car crash and they're on
yeah.
Well, if you go back, they've formed the highway village. So they've started living together and having sex with each other and stuff.
Okay, see, Peter Molyneux would be proud of that.
Yeah, it would.
It would.
Yeah, and there's a funny bit with a bear, where this cute little bear gets cut in half, and he's like, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna die. This is it. I'm dying." And you walk off, and he shouts you, and he says, "Where you going? I haven't died yet." So you go back, and this happens about 5 times, and it's all new dialogue. It's not repeated. And then eventually your gun just says, "Just kill him." But there's a really funny achievement in this. So there's a boss, and he's like, "Oh, why do you even play video games? Why do you even play video games? What are you doing? Like, you fucking loser and all this." And he goes like, "Here, look for stupid achievements or awards or whatever." And he gives you an achievement, and he says, "There you go." And the achievement is for being in an alien strip club for 15 real hours. And he says, "There you go. That's on your permanent record. You fucking weirdo." Like, people are just going to look at. And I thought that was a really
nice.
good. That was a really good joke. Yeah, look, the end of the game is pretty funny. It's you have to shove a bomb up like this alien's arsehole. So that's fine. Yeah, so it's okay. It's just not like blowing me away or anything like that. It definitely, I don't think I can recommend it. Is what I walked away from it with.
No,
I
I'd
finished
had enough after 20 minutes.
It's about 5 hours, maybe less than that actually. I didn't do any exploring or anything like that, because you can go back to some of the old areas and get chests and collectibles. I didn't do a lot of that. There is some funny moments though where you do like a kind of a shootout in a saloon, and you've got these like construction builders, and they need to build a bridge, and like they end up how can I say this, ejaculating a rainbow instead. Like, it's very really weird stuff in the game, but it's all that humor. So it is pretty funny. But unfortunately, one of the people that are involved in it is now in prison or whatever. So, but what can you do? What can you do? But yeah, apart from that,
sort of put a damper on that big time, eh?
Yeah, gloss over it. Gloss over it. It's fine.
Get over it. Yes. So yeah, the jokes don't come as quick as they do at the start. Like Knifey, for example, who Duke was saying is like one of his favourite characters because all he wants to do is stab stuff. At one point at the end of the game, because you collect other guns in the game, and they're all talking to each other, and Knifey barely talks. And even at the end of the game, Knifey says, "Oh, and I'm here as well. Knifey, remember me? You don't really speak to me that much." So even like they acknowledge it. Like there's just like there's some bits where, you know, and there's a bit where you like you finish the main story, and they reference like the sequel and all that sort of stuff. It's like, "Oh, we should do a sequel or some DLC where we'll pay loads of money or charge you loads of money." And there's one bit where there's like remember that in Metal Gear Solid, Fraser, where they read your memory and they know what game you're playing? Do you remember this? And he does like Castlevania, I think, or like Pro Evolution, because it had to be a Konami game because the game was published by Konami. But in this, like that boss who gives you that weird achievement, he says like, "Oh, yeah, well, I bet you wish you were playing Fortnite or something, or GTA. Like, I can't read your memories, but I'm just guessing what game you probably play." And he's like, "I'm just going to assume you did 90 hours of Rocket League." Yeah, Rocket League, yeah. And they reference like Donut County. Oh, and the one last thing I'll say about this game, right? And this is not a joke, Fraser. This is not a joke, right? There's a part of the game where you have to interrogate people. You have to go up to random people, right? And you have to say, "Oh, where were you last night?" Wherever. And this is an American game. I think it was made in Australia, or I'm not sure. But I went up to this one guy. He had an American accent, and he says, "So where were you, fuckface? Where were you last night?" And he goes, "I was playing snooker." And I was like, "No fucking way.
Brilliant.
Absolutely no way. They just said snooker in this game. That's ridiculous." And I was like, did they read my thing? Like, how did they, is that just, like, I was blown away. I was like, "Oh my God, this is cool." But apart from that, yeah, the game is, I can't recommend it. It's pretty boring after the start. Maybe play the first, like, hour, because that's probably the most fun that you'll get playing
I would say, I've said, to people before, you should definitely fire it up and have a go.
Yeah, it's, but it does get a little boring. Some of the boss fights are funny. Like one of the boss fights, you get to him and it always does like a kind of, you see him and it freezes and he puts his name up. One of the boss fights, you see him and he falls over and he kills himself straight away. So you don't fight him.
Right.
That's the joke. Like, that's it. But then you have to fight like a hologram of him. But look, it's really funny. Like, you go up to fight and he just goes dead. That's it. It's over, and it was really, really funny. So there are good moments in it, to be fair. But I suppose what I've learned from this, is that a game can't really hang on a good sense of humor on its own. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like a person, good sense of humor is all good and well, but
still got to have good gameplay.
The most important thing is looks, as we all know.
Yeah, exactly. Depth.
No, looks, just looks, shallow looks. So very good game, but probably just play the first hour because that's the best bit.
Play the first hour. See how you get on.
Play the first hour.
The first hour and the last hour are probably the best bits of this game, but unfortunately you can't just skip to the last hour. So yes, High on Life.
Shall we talk a little bit about Hi-Fi Rush?
Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush. So this was the Play My Game bitch this week. So we haven't got a jingle.
A mix between like Elite Beat Agents and Bayonetta.
And what's that thing with the roller skates?
Well, there's that, but I was thinking of like Sunset Overdrive. It's a little bit like Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, all right, okay. I don't know. I've never played that.
Yeah, but that game with the roller skates, I know what you're talking about. But Jet Set Radio, isn't it?
Jet Set Radio. Yeah.
It's all that sort of stuff.
It's very colourful, shall we say?
Very
to begin
colourful.
With.
I was going to say the I don't usually like sort of anime and that sort of stuff, but I was very, very impressed with the cutscenes in this game. I thought, and even the sense of humor. I thought the sense of humor was pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
In some ways,
really good.
In some ways, I think this was slightly funnier than High on Life. It just the way that I wasn't expecting it to be so sort of self-aware, and it's sort of nodding and winking at itself, and the quality of the animation is absolutely amazing.
Second to none, isn't
absolutely
it? I mean, and voice acting is totally on point.
Yeah.
It's really, really sharp. I mean, there's no woodenness at all.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I sat there, I'll be honest with you, this is the first thing I thought when I was playing it, was like, it's like I'd gone back to being a kid in the 80s watching a cartoon on the telly. It's that good a quality of animation. Like I say, it just reminded me of these really old cartoons from back in the day. And what did you think, though? What did you think as a game?
Well, Fraser hasn't spoke, so I didn't go.
Did you play it, Fraser, in the end or
Well,
not?
Stu sent me the link and said, Stu sent me the message saying we're going to play Hi-Fi Rush. Now, back in the day, I can remember back in the day when I first came on your show, which has got to be quite a few years ago now.
It is.
I was so excited, I was today, excited about being on.
Yeah.
Right. But back then, I would definitely have done my homework.
Oh.
So I'm sorry to say. I just got a little bit complacent.
You know what?
I
didn't
do it. But I'm not going to lie.
Well, we'll get someone else next time. I'll tell you what.
Jeez.
It's okay. It's okay.
I have turned, but I have played it in the past. I have played it. But I didn't play much of it. I fired it up. It looked very slick. It looked pretty neat. It looked really slick. But I just wasn't drawn to play it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, so the whole sort of thing with this game is that you're attacking on the beat. So everything in the world is sort of bouncing, and you can see the beat everywhere. So you can see like things bouncing to the beat. He's even running to the beat. Everything. He's snapping his fingers to the beat on his idle animation. And you have to attack on the beat, so you have to sort of like bam, 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 and then if you do
or on the offbeat as well, isn't it? So it's
you have to do you have to do with the power moves though. You have to go like bam, 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 and it's like this.
That is exactly it.
Weird sort of thing that you have to. Well, and you're concentrating so much on that, you don't even notice like the enemies. Like you're trying to like, I'm just trying to like get the beat, and it does feel really organic and very cool. There's some platforming bits in the middle of battles, but I feel like there's a lot of tutorials at the start of this game, so I only played like the first hour, but like
they're not skippable, so
if
you don't
slow
do
as
it,
well. They're slow,
and if you don't do it straight away, you have to keep doing it until you do it. You can't just go, fuck this, I just want to move on.
Yeah.
It won't let you just move on, I found that slightly frustrating at one point.
Because you come across that fridge, that robot fridge. I think his name is Smidge, the robot. And
Yeah,
he
Smidge.
He gives you like little tutorial things, and it's just like they could tell me that so much quicker rather than this drawn out dialogue. That got to me. I feel like I'm about an hour in. I've got to the first boss. I haven't finished the first.
Do you know what? This is when I thought this game is fucking cool, right? Because you fight the first boss to 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails, yeah. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I got to. I didn't finish it, but
I've beaten the boss. I beat the first boss.
Yeah.
But I love this game. I think it's really, really good. I'm very impressed.
I feel like this game will get better. There's something about it to me where it's really cool, really well presented. And this is the first boss, isn't it, on screen now? This massive woman. She turns into some sort of robot. I don't know. It's good, but I just feel like the start was a bit slower with the constant stopping of tutorials.
Yeah.
And
I
don't
think
mind
once
tutorials.
The tutorials
it's just,
are out of the way, it'll not be too bad. It's not too bad.
The way the tutorials were delivered, it was just like, here's some dialogue, some more dialogue, the thing you've got to do, how to do it, dialogue. And I'm like, you don't have to have the dialogue. Just tell me what I've got to do and how to do it. But some of the platforming bits, Stu, I wasn't raving about. I didn't really like.
And some of the buttons you have to do like a special attack to get them to open and things, but that was all right.
It was okay, but
I think overall, it's I like the sort of premise of it that his Walkman gets fucking embedded in his chest.
Yeah,
and all these people are super excited to become these half robot, half human things.
Well, it's a classic example of like, the game matters first, and then they obviously sort of fabricate this weird story around it, which is great. And the game is so good to look at that I just want to watch more of it. It's so good and funny, like genuinely funny. Like that character, the main character, Chai, is it Chai?
Yeah,
he is really, really good. Like not over the top, funny, genuinely like making good jokes. And I don't know sort of what he's going to do next or say next. Now, I feel like with High on Life, which is a comedy game as well, like I kind of know what that humor is.
Well, this isn't quite as in your face humor.
No, it's
a bit more subtle.
But because it's sort of an anime inspired art style and characters, I was instantly sort of like turned off. I really liked it. I think this is going to be my next game that I'm going to try and get done because I've started it.
Yeah,
now.
I am. I'm going to try and get it done because I really it actually took me away from Elden Ring.
Yeah, no, it's really.
I played this most of the day I was off. Like I played it quite a bit on the day I was off. I had other stuff to do, but this was the game I went back to.
Yeah, no,
I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to play more of this because I enjoyed this.
Definitely worthy of anybody's time. I think. It's a third person. Rhythm hack 'em slash game, basically. So if that sounds good to you, then that's you gotta dive in. But it is better than most. I suppose I would look at one thing that doesn't do this game justice at all is the cover on the Xbox. The little tile.
Oh, the icon.
The icon. I would have never picked this game if anybody hadn't talked about it. But I've heard a lot of people talk about it this week. But honestly, like I would have never bothered with this game at all because the art style would have instantly put me off. The art style looks like every Nintendo platform trash shovelware game or like some mobile game. But then you click on it and go, oh, actually, this is pretty good. So,
well, the other thing that sorry to interrupt you, Mike. I was just going to say the other thing that sort of didn't lend itself. It doesn't lend itself is the fact that it was good that it was a surprise release.
A shadow drop.
A shadow drop. Yes.
That's what they're calling it. A shadow drop.
Available to everyone on Game Pass. Wonderful or whatever. But the cynic as well goes, why is that free? Why is that not? It's just appeared. Why is there no hype about it? Why am I not being drawn
I can answer the
it?
question. So this was made by Bethesda Works. So these are the guys that made Prey, and something else. They've made big games, big games, and it was their idea. It was their idea. So it wasn't made by Bethesda. It's published by Bethesda. But
It
the
was
people that
published,
made
it was made. It made
made by-
Evil Within, Evil Within 2,
Evil Within, yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh right, yeah. So it's them, not the Prey people. Sorry,
It's
but
them.
it was their idea, not Microsoft. It was they wanted to do a shadow drop. They wanted this game to come out of nowhere, and they don't even release it to the press. So
So
sometimes
this, I mean, just to let you know, this was made by Shinji Mikami, who made the original Evil Dead, Resident Evil.
Resident
sorry.
Evil,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so there's your quality. That's why it's got
Yeah,
that quality.
So this
that's
sounds
where
like
this has come from.
this sounds like a passion project to me. This sounds like he's made Evil Within 2, and then on his Saturdays, a bit of a foreigner on the weekends, he's gone, I've got this great idea for a game. He's probably had this in the works for years. And just
It
gone,
feels very Japanese when I play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, because I like my Japanese games, as you know.
This is
that
be-
sounded
this is
very
better than
Norman,
most.
by the way.
This is better than
It is.
most. Like
It feels like if you got like a Persona game, and then made it into an
Fun.
action sort of fighter game. Yeah, that's what it feels
made
like.
it into
to
a
me.
fun game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is great. But like I've even when I play like the Yakuza games and stuff, I don't that humor, the art style, the voice acting just does not sit well with me at all. I can't stand it. I physically can't sit there and watch it. It irks me. However,
Yeah.
with this game, that all goes away because it's genuinely
And even the
funny.
licensed music they've managed to put into it, and
Yeah.
and it, like
Well,
Nine
the
Inch
first song
Nails.
was the Black
You
Keys,
think of
wasn't it?
Nine- Yeah,
Black Keys was a
they've
great
got some
song.
really, really good songs built
Yeah.
into the game, and obviously every boss fight presumably has a different
I assume
amazing
so.
song
Yeah,
to fight
yeah,
to.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving it more of a go.
And they've also, which is kind of cool, they built a non-licensed mode as well. So if
yeah,
you're going
you
to
can
stream,
stream
it, it's
it.
got
Yeah, that's
non-licensed
cool.
music.
That's clever. That's clever.
So you can
Very
do that
clever.
as well without getting in any problems or trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to definitely play more of this. It was a really fun game to play.
Mm.
So there you go. Should have played it, Fraser.
Should have
Honestly,
played
you're a
it instead of
I
play
did
it.
play it, but I didn't play it again.
Should have
That's the
played it.
problem.
Just played it.
You
Honestly.
might convince me to go back and try it again.
I think you should go back and try it again.
I'll go back and check.
Take you
it
out of that
out.
gaming rut. Maybe this is a game to
Instead
do
of
it.
just play it, should have played it.
Should have played
Should
it.
have played it more.
Should have played.
Should have played it more.
Okay, so that's High Five Rush.
High Five Rush.
I mean,
Uh,
actually, that's quite surprising because if as a long time listener, I'm pretty sure that Mike doesn't normally play the.
I don't play the shit
Oh,
ones.
does he? Heck. No.
No, so I got lucky this time, right? I got away with it.
Yeah, sometimes he does. It depends what mood he's in. Depends
Yeah.
what mood he's
No,
in.
sometimes I look at what the game is and I go, I ain't playing that shit. No way.
Can I just say, by
Ask
the way,
yourself whether I did the same thing, Mike.
You should play it though. It's all right.
you should definitely play it. It's pretty good.
I look forward to the in-depth reports of you guys playing it again next week.
Next week I'll fucking hate it. I'll be like, this is
Yeah, he'll
shit.
fucking hate it.
Have you played any more? No.
Yeah, no.
I did something this week that I don't like doing, but I did it anyway. Right, which is I got a refund for Unplugged Air Guitar on VR.
Good.
Oh,
Because-
mate, look, can I just
Oh.
say? Sorry, and I know I'm the guest. I'm being a little.
No,
bit
you
rude
say,
here.
no,
Go on,
do it.
go on,
But
go on.
I listened to this last week, and as soon as you said that you had spent a tenner on that, I was already the words were coming out of my mouth. But before I even said it, Mike said it for me. What were you playing at?
I know. But I had another go, right? I thought maybe it was the lighting was the problem. So I had the fucking blinds open,
No.
daylight flooding in.
The platform
I'm
is
like,
the problem.
It'll work this time because everyone's saying it works now, and it still didn't work. And I'm just like, nah, that's it. I'm gonna fucking refund.
The platform is the problem, Stu.
Yeah.
We
There's a
figured this
lot of-
out.
It was
we
a
had
good idea.
We all
It's a
bought
good
these
idea.
stupid fucking plastic guitars, and we all rocked out in our
Yeah.
living rooms.
And they
stuff, and
worked.
we
There-
loved
there
it.
was no
we loved it.
problems.
We loved it. We all loved it. And then it fucking went away because fads and phases.
It did.
There's
I
a
think
lot
it-
of
It kind of works, but it
I'm
just
seeing a
doesn't.
lot more chat about people saying VR is not going to be around.
Did.
It's dead. It's dead already. What are you talking about? No one plays VR anymore.
Dead.
You don't even play poker anymore.
And that's coming from someone who buys games on it weekly. And he's saying
I don't
it's
I don't buy them weekly. Can I just say?
Weekly.
I don't buy as many as
You're
you think these days.
single-handedly propping up that industry. You
VR.
are, don't you?
It's just
VR
me.
has been back since 2013. I think EGX 2013. That's when
Yeah.
when VR.
I remember the first
big-
time I ever tried it. It
And,
was pixelated as all hell.
And Stu has been championing and
I
championing.
have.
And
I
this
have.
is the year 2023. So 10 years it has
Yeah.
taken for Stu to go, you know what? I don't think this is going to work.
Well, some of
don't-
it works.
I
The
don't
golf
think
works. The mini golf
This
works.
VR
Come on.
is going to.
Mini golf is fine.
But when in 2013, Stu, right,
Yeah.
was like, oh, but this is going to be the best game like ever. Like, oh.
Oh no. Oh, this is 2013, Stu.
Yeah, sorry, I'll stop that. But like you were like, this is the future. This is the way it all is. It's gonna go this
I
way.
know. Do you know what the
you put
problem
your
is,
console
though?
in the bin, like
I
you know.
know.
But here we are. We're still playing with
You know what the
little
problem
stupid
is?
plastic thing in our hand,
I'll tell you
or
what
a
the problem
keyboard,
is.
if you're a Fraser.
Mark Zuckerberg is the problem here.
That's the only
Because-
reason it failed. Yes.
No, it is because he was so busy going, here, fucking do your office meetings in VR, right? Instead of going, here, play fucking decent games in it and let's develop more gaming shit. He was too busy trying to get people to fucking have their office
but there
meetings
isn't
and mess
there
their
isn't
hair up.
there isn't any
No
ideas.
one's doing that.
No,
No one's
it's just
fucking doing it.
it's shit. That's why. Like it's shit.
I don't see. We have a Quest 2 here, and anybody who picked up a Quest, did you buy a Quest, Mike?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've all
Anybody
got
who
one.
picked up a
Apart
Quest,
from Duke.
let's face it, if you picked up a Quest about a year or two ago, you were getting a good deal on Zuckerberg's dime. He was funding 50% of the cost of that headset to you.
Oh, definitely.
And now they're getting the fuck around and find out part where you need to make money on what you're doing. PlayStation are releasing their PSVR 2 and it costs an arm and a leg.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it does.
Anybody who sort of laughs it off and go, oh yeah, no, but it's worth it. We are getting to the point now where a lot of people are starting to find out that $700 is a lot of money.
I don't know whether you've heard this, but they're already reducing production of it because they've realized that they're not going to sell as many as they thought they were going to.
Right, and it's going to be brutal for them because now their costs have gone up. 'cause
How
they're not
many
gonna be-
millions has that thing costing however many years?
Well, I mean, when you reduce your production by 50%, your costs don't just get reduced by 50%.
No.
They don't at all. Plus, they've got the knock-on effect now of people going, "Oh, well, it's not getting the hype that it whatever Oh,
Well,
they're canceling their pre-order. They're canceling their pre-order. What don't I know? Shit, maybe I should cancel my pre-order, or maybe I shouldn't dive in." Yeah,
but they've got a brand new peripheral platform coming out very soon. No one cares. No one cares.
Who? Sorry, what? PlayStation?
The VR. Like they're not hyping it up. They're not doing anything. There's no announcements.
But there have been, it's not hyped up as much. There have been a lot of people interested in, but I think it's taken a sharp turn.
But
for the
they're not
worst
hyping
in the
it up.
last few weeks.
They're not doing any. There's like the Sony shows and stuff like that. There's no live stream about it. Right, let's do a whole hour dedicated.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, I mean, and probably somebody high up is going, "You're not spending any more money on this."
Yeah, they're looking at the spreadsheet.
The
and
answer is no.
They see the bar just going, "This is not good."
Yeah. ROI is not looking good on that, right? And and I mean, I say to people, like, whenever anybody comes around the house who hasn't tried VR, I'm like, you got to try it. I mean, you have to try it. It is amazing, right? And some of the stuff on the VR is amazing, but it's a long way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't find it comfortable. I don't find it enjoyable. For long periods, it's just never hit with me.
Just to put this into context, right? Reality Labs, which is the sort of VR part of Meta, in the last quarter of last year, when they're meant to make the most money, throughout the year because it's holiday sales and all that kind of stuff, they had an operating loss of $4.3 billion in a quarter.
Yeah,
just one quarter of the year, and the year overall they lost 13.7 billion.
Oh,
they were the operating loss of 13.7 billion.
I was reading the news yesterday or this morning, I can't remember when it was, and somebody was talking about how much Mark Zuckerberg has burned on the metaverse. right? And they were talking about his VR as
ridiculous
well as,
amount of money.
and the picture was a picture of him shoveling dollar bills into a furnace, and I don't know why, but I fucking.
I mean,
loved that. It
when
just
you
made
think
me
right,
laugh.
and I think this is how I put it into context. Really, when you think what you could do in the world to help people with $13 billion, and how many lives you could change for the better.
Yeah, but that don't make no money.
No, it doesn't make no money, but it just when you put it in that sort of context, you just think, what the fuck world are we really living in where they just ride that off and carry on investing in it and going, yeah, nobody will be fine. It'll turn around.
Well, they don't know. That's the problem, right? Is the shareholders now are just going,
I mean, this is real money.
Why are we
I mean,
not getting that 13 billion?
Yeah, exactly. $13 billion. Like, how many people could you make a millionaire? You know what I mean? It's just
look. I mean, everybody knows from the start though. They gave Palmer Lucky what did he get? 700 million.
Yeah, something like that.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's bonkers, right? We all know the world's gone mad.
It's
yeah, we do sound like an old podcast.
We do,
yeah, but the problem is when you've been around for a while, right? You start to. This is what I was saying to people about getting old. Like, getting old sucks ass, okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, one of the neat things about getting old is you've been around for a few decades, and you start to see things. You start to see trends, and you start to see things develop, and you start, and it's fascinating just watching, because like you said, VR has been on. It's been over a decade since we've been talking about it. So now we've watched the whole industry.
First time I ever go.
Yeah, watch the whole industry. I mean, when we met up at EGX and Stu was there with his VR there, I mean, it was like he was buzzing about it, and I loved trying it. It was really neat. It was cool, and but I didn't walk out the next day and
buy one. No, you didn't. But a
'Cause
lot of
you're a
people did
sensible
through COVID.
person.
A lot of people did through COVID.
Yeah,
A lot of
to be
people
fair,
bought
my VR did me well through COVID.
we how many Fridays did we play poker and have a laugh?
So all
You know
we
what I mean?
need is another event that basically stops the world dead.
Basically, it stops you going out.
And then
stops you going outside
the platform
again.
will be fine.
It will. It will. As we're talking about news things, shall we do a bit of news? Shall we do that? I think we're more or less done with what we played, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah.
So here we go. So it's conspiracy theory just for you, this one, Chinny.
Right.
Why fans believe GTA 6 is close to launch. All right.
Okay.
This is just bullshit, right? Here we go.
Yeah.
After years of waiting, GTA 6 fans believe the Rockstar's next game could be crossing the development finish line very soon. Twitter account GTA 6 News and Leaks 2. I mean, just hearing that name makes you go, yeah, right. Uploaded screenshots from various sources that have all claimed to show the game off in more complete state when compared to last year's massive leak of in-development footage. More than 90 videos and screenshots surfaced from an early build of the game, and a London-based hacker was arrested, allegedly in connection with the leak. Whilst that early and unofficial look at GTA 6 led fans to believe that Rockstar's newest sandbox was still in very early development, the new report from GTA 6 News and Leaks 2 claims otherwise, linking to a forum post from Rockstar Games Insider, Tez2. Multiple files of bank release, beta, and debug builds of the game were discovered by the individual, supposedly. It suggests that these files point to a more feature-complete builds of GTA 6, which would include full user interface functionality and a roughly finished state for the game, while Rockstar works on polishing the end result before release and ironing out any bugs. So, Chinny, what do you think? Is it coming sooner than we think?
No.
Our fanboy of the show?
No.
What sort of cosplay are you looking forward to?
You can't hear this, but I'm just trying to get something on the screen and you can't see. No, I don't think so. What do they think? Do they think it's coming this year? They say.
And
Why did you not listen to what you just said?
Half listen.
They don't necessarily say it's coming this year, but they're saying it's closer than we think.
Well,
basically,
what does that mean?
So, what do you think? When do you? I mean, what if you had to put a date, right? When you think it's going to release, what would you say?
I think the soonest it could be is probably like end of next year, but I think it's 2025.
2025, right? So you're going 2025. Fraser, have you got a guess? We'll lock these in and see who's right. So you're saying 2025. Fraser, when do you think GTA 6 is releasing?
I can give you 2024 if we need to throw a date at something.
2024.
I'm fascinated that. Sorry. Do you want to give us your date then? Stu?
I'm gonna go December this year. I'm gonna go with a. I'm gonna go out there by December this year. I'm saying.
I'm fascinated by the dilemma that they have. That they probably. I mean, they're in a good dilemma position, right? But what happens? They're almost competing against themselves. It feels like at this point, right?
Yeah, but they've got buckets of cash. I mean, these guys don't have to rush. They have that much.
They're
cash.
using cash for chairs in Rockstar.
It can take as long.
It's toilet paper to them. It's just
they've just got $13 billion just sat in the corner of the office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys are loaded.
They're just
they
burning
just have a
it,
pile
like
of money.
The Joker in the Dark Knight, just for a laugh.
They've just got resin desks just made out of money. That's what they have. Honestly.
I don't know. I think it could be next year. It could be next year, but I think 2025 is more realistic. GTA games have mostly come out at the end of a financial quarter, so like the financial year. So the last
it's usually April, isn't it?
Usually
March,
April. The last two came out April. Max Payne came out in May, I think. That came out in 2010 as well. So Red Dead did come out in November 2 and 1. So yeah, maybe next year, like maybe next October, November. But they usually do quite a lot of build-up content towards the GTA, so that's why I think it's quite far out. Because they usually do a teaser announcement, right?
Yeah,
they do. Teaser announcement, and that's usually like a good year away from the game being released. So that's why I don't think it's going to be soon. I think we might get a trailer this year. Towards the end of this year, we might get like a little, here, welcome to the world of Vice City Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, wherever it is, wherever it's
and then we don't get any main character, nothing. We just get like vibes on vibes. And then the next year maybe we'll get like, here's the main character, that woman that we saw from the leak, and like she's from there and she's doing this. So they usually have quite a lot of lead up content. They don't show you much gameplay, but they have a lot of lead up content to when the game's being released. With Red Dead, with GTA 5, that's about all they've released in the last like 10 years. But like, you know, they're not shy of releasing stuff. So yeah, I think it's 2025. Maybe next year. Soonest November next year, latest April 2026. But yeah, 2025 is what I think.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Star Wars.
Have you been playing the Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Are you one of those fucking Jedis?
Star Wars Jedi Survivor release date delayed by 6 weeks. Right?
6 weeks? I thought it was 6 months. Oh, 6 weeks.
No, 6 weeks. That's 6 weeks.
Barely
Apparently,
news. That's barely.
Apparently,
news.
because this is a statement.
For the last 3 years, somebody fell over.
For the last 3 years, the Jedi team here at Respawn has poured its collective heart and soul into Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We are proud to say that the next chapter of the tale of Cal Kestis, is it Kestis? Is content complete. We are now focused entirely on the final stage of bug fixes to enhance performance, stability, polish, and most importantly, the player experience. Jedi Survivor is a direct response to the feedback from our community, delivering expansive destinations to explore, evolve combat and traversal, and of course, the continuation of Cal and BD's story. Making this game has truly made us a better team, and we have pushed ourselves at every level to make this a Star Wars sequel that our fans expect from Respawn and Lucasfilm Games. In order for the team to hit the Respawn quality bar, though, provide the team with time they need and achieve a level of polish our fans deserve, we have added 6 crucial weeks to our release schedule. Star Wars Jedi Survivor will now launch globally on the 28th of April. Thanks EA and Respawn for giving us the time to deliver the best experience for our players and all of you and your understanding, which means basically that it's not fucking finished.
That is the most northern old man response I've ever heard to that. What it means, what I think it means.
6 weeks is not going to make a lot of difference in the scheme of things, in my opinion.
What I think it means is they found like a big bug in the game.
They went, fuck. This is
And they
not
went,
working.
Shit, we need to fix that. Like a game breaking bug, or
Yeah.
like something that can fuck up your save or something. And they went, we need to fix the shit out. And meanwhile, they can fix a lot. They probably have. I think the way developers work, they have like, gold, silver, bronze sort of bugs. Like gold ones, we've got to fix them. They are absolutely important. Then silver and bronze that sort of get left behind. And they go, oh well. While we're doing this, why don't we get another 6 weeks of just like knocking out all the other bugs as well? So I think they found something that was bad.
They went, shit, it's broken.
And so they saved it. They sent it off to the game gods and said, right, that game is finished. Thank you very much. And then they went, ooh, there's a thing there. If you jump this way and do this and press left, your house sets on fire in real life, and we don't.
Oh my
want that.
God.
So yeah.
Some super quick news. Resident Evil 4 Remake is removing quick time events and adding side quests.
What game?
I'm unsure of this game.
Resident Evil 4 Remake.
It's removing
quick time events and adding side quests.
Oh,
So
I can't wait for this game, Fraser. What are you unsure about this?
Yeah,
I love Resident Evil 4. As
Who
much
doesn't?
as the next
Who
as
doesn't?
much as the next guy who loves Resident Evil 4. So there's a part of me which is automatically has said, I'm in. Day one, I'm in. I gotta go on this because I love Resident Evil 4. And then I watched a trailer and I was like, oh yeah, I see what that bit is. I see what that bit is. And I was like, yeah, I've played the fuck out of this game. Do I really need to, know? And I was like, am I gonna get buyer's remorse from day one when I realize this?
It's just a prettier looking same game.
Yeah, I might be switching from day one to waiting for the first price.
Yeah,
drop.
when it's been reduced.
Well, I've never really played it. I played like the start of it on the Switch. I've never really played it. So
you see, it's perfect for you, Ginny. It's perfect. If you
but I've still got Resident Evil 3 remake to play, which I know is not as good.
But it's still all right. It's all right. It's all right.
But I'm going to play that, and I'm also going to play this. But yeah, Resident Evil 2 is like up there, man. That Resident Evil 2
but I would
remake.
say this, Mike. I would say this. I bought Resident Evil 3 remake. And it's a big bag of okay.
Yeah, but
two. It's all right.
Two.
Right, but let me. Yeah, but be.
You can pick it up cheap.
Be very careful of playing 3. Of thinking you have to play 3 because you got it, and then being burned out to play 4. I would leave yours. If I was you, if I was your lawyer, as your lawyer or your attorney, I advise you to shelve 3 and just get yourself nice and hungry and fresh for 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah. Don't sully the water. Don't pee in the pool with 3 right now.
Yeah.
What is playing 3 gonna do? What harm? Is that
it's not that big a game. It only takes about 8-10 hours, doesn't it, to finish?
So what
3.
harm
It's
is that
not a
gonna
massive
do,
game.
Fraser? That's what I'm saying. What harm is that gonna do?
Not a huge.
Because I think you can get Resident Evil'd out, right? I think you've got the opportunity here to be hungry like the wolf, Mike, the wolf that you are for Resident Evil 4.
Duran. I like it.
He looks a bit like Simon Le Bon.
Yeah, he does. No, he doesn't. Okay, super quick news. God of War Ragnarok reaches 11 million units sold. So there you go. That's pretty good. 11 million people. Count them. Super quick news. Turtle Rock is already done with Back for Blood. They're done. No more content is coming. They are finished with that game and they're concentrating on whatever the hell they're making now.
I will say, if anybody has not played Back for Blood, they should play it. It is a good game.
It's all right. And the final bit of super quick news is Dying Light franchise has sold more than 30 million copies combined. Which is pretty good, but I'm reckoning most of them are Dying Light and not Dying Light 2, in my opinion, but I could be wrong.
You're probably right.
Could be wrong. Okie dokie, we have got one email, so shall we do that? Shall we do an email?
We've only got the one.
Only one. It might be
What are
2.
they
Just a minute. I haven't checked yet. Just a minute. Let me check.
What are they?
We have got one email.
Okay.
Are you ready? And it's preposterous. 11 out of 25.
Is it Strutmeister? Strutmeister General.
It is Strutmeister. And he says, all right, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. This week's offering is something that is an absolute lifesaver. Collaboration between NASA, Dr. Michael DeBacke, Dr. George Noon, and Micromeg Technology Incorporated resulted in a life-saving heart pump for patients awaiting heart transplant. I see what he's doing here.
He's tugging on your heartstrings.
He's tugging, man. He's
Literally.
like, hey, Stu, if you ever have a heart transplant, you'll be needing one of these. Patients waiting heart transplants, the Micromed DeBacke ventricular assist device. I did quite well to say that.
Well done. Congratulations.
Functions as a bridge to heart transplant by pumping blood throughout the body to keep critically ill patients alive until a donor heart is available. Weighing less than 4 ounces and measuring 1 by 3 inches, the pump is approximately 1/10 the size of others currently. Marketed pulsatile VADs. This makes it less invasive and ideal for smaller adults and children because the pump's small size, less than 5% of the patient's implanted developed device-related infections. It can operate up to 8 hours on batteries, giving patients the mobility to do normal everyday activities. Thank goodness for space travel, eh? Ta-ta for now, and keep up the amazing work, fellow Strutty. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that, really.
Yeah.
It's not as a result of space travel, right? So I just need to make that clear. It's not
See, here's the
directly
thing,
come from space.
But is this argument? Are you saying that space travel hasn't provided, like you said, material before,
No, space
right?
exploration. So not space travel per se, but actual like looking at space through a telescope has no material benefit to the Earth. It costs a lot of money to put up the James Webb Telescope. Costs billions of dollars, but although it'll give us loads of interesting information and satisfy a lot of curiosity, it doesn't actually have a material benefit to the Earth.
Well, what do you want? Like there's like a recipe out there, like a menu, and like some.
But what
James,
I'm trying to say
James Webb,
is,
can you just zoom in on that recipe?
I mean, if you boil it down, you're effectively saying there's no point to it. Is that what you're saying?
well, not that there's no point to it, but yeah, there's no point to it. It doesn't.
Jesus Christ!
It doesn't.
I just want that on the record for all the listeners now. There is no point to the Hubble telescope.
To looking at
so
space.
no.
You know what? When you're out at night, don't even look up. Don't bother.
No, don't even look
no
up. What's the point?
Look
There's no
down.
point.
You might find some money.
Just look down, yeah, because there's no money up there. There's nothing.
No,
Even
there's
if you
nothing.
try and spend your money out there, it's worthless. It's
You're
shit.
not going to find anything. It's just
Honestly.
pointless, really.
Just don't even look
fucking
at the
pointless.
stars. Don't even look at them. They're
It's
just
It's
shit.
look,
Don't
it's
play it.
super interesting, but there's a lot of cost for no return, basically.
Leonardo DiCaprio said it.
It's the
Do you know
no
what I'm
return
saying?
bit. It's the
There's
no
no
return
return.
bit that gets
There's no
me.
returns.
Okay.
Leonardo
Apart from
DiCaprio
nice
said it.
pictures of galaxies. You know what I'm saying?
Don't look up. Just don't look up.
Don't look up. Right, we have got one speak pie, right? And because obviously Duke is in here, I'm going to have to do it this weird way. So here we go. Let me do this. I'll set it up.
You could have sent it to me. and I could have-
Speak pipe. Well, it
No,
doesn't matter. I'm doing it this way. Here we go.
Yeah,
Are you
put
ready?
this on there,
It's
whatever.
working. Here we go. Here we go.
You playing it through like some weird speaker? What are you
Hey,
doing?
it's Duke. I hope this is the Veteran Gamers. I've been listening to y'all for a long time. I really love the show. And yeah, I'm sure y'all crying because I'm not there right now. Stop crying. Stu, stifle your tears, blow your nose. Chinny, stop weeping into your hands and pretending like it's just hay fever. I know y'all are really sad that I'm not there. Fraser, thank you for filling in. I love you. You're a very cute man. And someday we got to meet up in Canada, eh? That would be a boot, the coolest thing ever. Anyway, I do have a question, and I don't think we've ever actually talked about this. Or maybe we have and I forgot, because I have a really bad, whatever it is you have in your brain where you store information. Anyway, if you could only play one video game for the rest of your life, what game would it be? I think for me, I don't know. I suppose Skyrim's the answer, but I don't know. Rocket League is really fun. I don't know. It's tough. I'd have to have a toss-up between the two of those. And then I think, I don't know. Minecraft is awesome. And I don't know. It's hard to pick just one. You know what I mean? But you tell us what you think. Also, you can go with her impression. What is the poop in the trash can on a snake? All right, I'm done. Peace, y'all. Sorry to be gone. See ya.
Brilliant.
I don't know how many times we've answered that.
Did you not hear our episode this week? Because so Sean wrote in and said, what game do you regret buying? And that's the laugh, right? How many times have we been asked that question? We're just like, I'm not. I think Dave refused to answer it.
And I always say the same thing. I try not to buy shit games, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. What do you want? What was that bear murdering game? Naughty Bear. That's what I'll play.
Naughty Bear. Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'll play for the rest of my life.
Naughty Bear.
Yeah, that one.
And put me down for a shower with your dad simulator.
Yeah. I'm in all my life with Naughty Bear. Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Naughty Bear.
Remember that game?
I'm gonna play Night Trap.
It rings a bell, but I can't
remember that game.
It.
It was like this. It was a game on Xbox Live Arcade. I don't actually know. I think it was a disc game, and it was like you're a bear,
cuddly teddy bear.
a cuddly
you
teddy
have
bear,
to stealthily
and you just
kill
had to
people.
Slit other bears' like necks and stuff. It was great. It was bad. It was a bad game, but it was like kind of like funny.
Was it
well.
better than Sneak King?
Yes, it was better than Sneak
infinitely.
King. What weird, obscure video
It wasn't
games can we
quite
say
as
next?
good as a killer's dream, though. That was amazing.
I'll tell you what I'm doing right now, and sorry, I'll derail a bit here, but I have there's a podcast called the Ben Heck Podcast, which I've listened to for a long time, and they haven't done any episodes for a couple of years, but they started off back in 2005, I think, and I started listening from day one again, and it is fascinating listening. They're right now just at the release of Call of Duty 4.
Oh my god!
And they are slating it. They are not happy about it all because it's got such a short campaign.
Oh my god!
But the point is, I mean, I could talk about everything, but it's really good to relive those years.
We're always amazed how many people listen to our back episodes.
Well, Fraser did. Fraser did that. Didn't he?
It's just weird.
But like
I just find it really
games such as Monday Night Combat. Like, remember that? No one does. It was an Xbox 360 game. It was made by.
Yeah, wasn't it like in a Saturday morning cartoon style?
It was a multiplayer sort of like Overwatch before Overwatch sort of thing. Like, it was that kind of game. Blur, remember Blur? Look, no,
I remember Blur. I like Blur. I quite like that game.
People like that.
Blur.
But it was interesting to hear that, like, they're right now at that sort of period of the 360 where Mass Effect was but they've just done BioShock. Their mind has been blown by BioShock.
Halo 3.
Mass Effect is on the right. Halo 3. They're not too enamored of Halo 3. They're not too enamored of their multiplayers.
It's funny, isn't it? It's almost
but
like
what a rich vein.
It is funny.
Your immediate opinion. Like, time is the best critic, isn't it? Time is the best critic of all these things.
It is,
but sometimes it can warp your memory of stuff. I don't know how I feel, but yeah. Sometimes I listen back to like really old episodes of ours.
I've never listened to it. I should do that. I should listen to
sometimes
one
I
of
scroll
really
right
old...
down and I listen to an old one. I'm like, bloody hell! Like, I don't remember that game.
I don't even remember saying any of that.
Quite often, if I'm going back to a game that's maybe a year, 2 years, or it's an older game. If I was to pick up something like God of War Ragnarok in a few months' time, then I definitely want to go back. I'll probably do a search function on your podcast and go back and find out, what did these guys think of it at the same time? Because it's very easy to just sort of switch off when it's not relevant.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. Right. That being said, we need to do some shout outs, I guess, and get the hell out of here. So, Fraser as a guest, go for it.
Well, I'll start off by shouting out Duke. Sorry you couldn't be here, mate, but thank you for the opportunity to stand in your very large shoes. I appreciate it and hope all is well, and we will meet up. I'd like to meet up in Madison though, because I've wanted to go to Madison. I don't know.
There you go. You got perfect
for a few reasons, Duke being one of them. I'll shout out you two. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Oh, thank you. You're very welcome.
A pleasure.
Always.
And Neil and Dave from my podcast. Because those guys are great.
Yeah, Seal Podcast. Give it a listen, people. Seal Podcast. Chinny.
Well, I'll shout out Fraser for coming on. What? But I'm going to shout out my wife.
Oh.
She has a YouTube channel.
She does?
That she started.
Nice.
And the reason why she's made it is to make herself
famous. She wants to be famous like the kids.
No, better at playing the saxophone. She's learning the saxophone.
All right. Okay.
And
Oh yes, I remember this. I
Is
do.
this wherever Duke would say saxophone?
Yeah. So she wants to upload videos, sort of make herself accountable. So if you go to Tahara Learns Saxophone, Tahara Learns Saxophone.
I'll have a look. I will give it a look.
Give her a review.
I'll give
say
some
hello.
really horrible comments about how bad
you
a
won't.
saxophone
You won't.
playing is. No, I won't.
And
no.
yeah, so she just she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. She just started it, and then just have a look. Just have a quick.
Well,
look.
good
Just-
for her.
just
It's
help her out.
always
Just help her out.
we should always encourage people who are trying to do something new.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should.
So
Within
Well,
reason.
I'm gonna shout out Fraser for very kindly filling in for Duke while he's away at his, I don't know, some sci-fi book conference or something weird, wasn't it? From what I can remember.
Oh,
I don't
jeez.
know. So who knows what he's doing? Shout out Duke, obviously, because he isn't here, and we do miss him. He's noisy and annoying quite a lot of the time, but we do miss him when he isn't here. I'm just saying, okay? And he does play random clips that make no sense whatsoever most of the time. And also shout out Chinny for always being reliable. He's always reliable. He's always here. You know what I'm saying?
every week.
Every week. And that's about it, I guess. So on that note, I guess we need to get the hell out of here. See how reliable he is with the outro.
Oh yeah,
music, let's
sorry, yeah.
see how reliable he is. I just say the audio cut off for me. I don't know why that was.
That's a shame.
Hello? No one hear me now?
Yeah.
How
can
weird
hear
is that? All right, I was saying the audio cut out after about 3 seconds.
Does it cut out?
Yeah.
Did it? Is it playing now?
Yes, play now.
Does it cut out if I do this? Hold on.
Yeah, it just cut out. Yeah. What are you doing?
So what
Oh
I
my
did was
God.
I played the outro and then I muted my mic, but obviously it mutes the.
It mutes everything. But as long as it's on the recording, I guess it doesn't matter. Right. I've got to go, people. I've got Happy Valley to watch. I've got to go.
Yeah.
Right,
Thank
Stu.
you.
Are you okay?
You know,
I am.
Fraser.
Thank you.
It's
Bye.
always a pleasure.
Gotta go.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Go
it
watch
is always a
Happy
pleasure.
Valley.
I've really
Thanks,
gotta
guys.
go.
I really
Happy Valley's on
appreciate
the
it.
telly.
Thanks for having me
Bye.
on.
Bye.
Have a lovely weekend, like what's
Yes.
left of it,
Well,
like the next
have a lovely
hour
week.
or
Good
so.
week.
Bye. I've got to go.
Bye.
I'm going. I know. I'm going. I'm going. Bye.
Bye.
Ah, bless him. Bless him. He's a unique man.
Everyone is.
We're still live streaming, Fraser. Do you want to say anything to the few people that will see this? Do you want to confess some dark secret
I don't think I have any dark secrets that I want to confess.
to me?
I've always loved your wife.
I knew it. Well, she's here now. No. So, yeah. Cool. All right, I'm going to stop the stream.
Good. All right,
So-
I'm going to go feed my children, I think. It's coming up for dinner time. I don't know if the dog got fed. Did you get fed?
Yes.
Come here.
Yes, I got food.
Can you see him? Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him. Big
cute.
Goof.
Hey, there he is. Hey. He can't see me, but, you know. Nice. That's a
Oh, you want
nice
some?
dog.
Did you have your dinner? Did you have your dinner?
That's a nice dog. That's
He's a
really
beaut.
nice.
He's a beaut.
That's a really nice dog. Right.
He's the best thing I've